throw right back to T. Higgins, and the Vikings did a really good job of covering him up. As we look at Jamar Chase on the sideline right now, for this Bengals offense, T. Higgins has been the guy that has stepped up. You've got to try to find a way to get him the ball. And it's even tougher without Jamar Chase taking coverage and double teams to his side and opening it up for the other guys.
Bengals will face winning teams the rest of the way after the Vikings. They're at Pittsburgh, at Kansas City, and home against Cleveland. Gets dropped. It's Jonathan Bullard, injured earlier in the game with a big sack for Minnesota.
For the Vikings, when you make a play like that on defense on second down, and now you're forcing a 3rd and long right here, going to be a 3rd and 18. This opens up. This is the Bengals possession. So now if you force a punt one back up, you only need a few plays, and you can kick a field goal in this game and possibly walk away and win it.
So now if you're Cincinnati, it's 3rd and 18 after Minnesota's 5th sack of the day. Watch Higgins split out to the right. Pressured again. Gets away from a defender. Keeps the play alive. Throws it deep downfield to Higgins. Who doesn't make the catch. And no flag on the play. Evans there to knock it away.
A lot of contact on that play. The Bengals sideline is going absolutely nuts. That tackle's almost on the field. As we see the play breaks down, T. Higgins goes deep. Evans has his jersey, turns around. I said it earlier, they've been letting him play. We haven't seen any penalties down the field on pass coverage. Chris, I think that's a pass interference. He has his jersey in his left hand. He's all over. I think that's a pass interference.
So no call by the refereeing crew. And a half to go in overtime. Robbins punts it away. Brandon Powell retreats inside his 30. Cuts it upside. And into the middle. And that's the 35.
Today, NFL Week 15 with 3 games this Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in and watch my live watch along reactions over here on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cohen Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. As Week 15 kicked off on Thursday night with the Chargers getting blown out against the Raiders, Brandon Staley was then fired, and rightfully so, after the Silver and Black won 63-21. Now we're in overtime for the first of 3 games today. The Vikings and Bengals are tied at 24. Next score wins, so we'll see what happens. Of course, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they would like the Skull Minnesota Vikings to pick up the W, if possible. Of course, if the black and gold can just continue to take care of business, okay, that's fine as well. Let alone they still have to play the Bengals once more, and that'll be next week, as we're awaiting kickoff with the Steelers and Colts coming up after this game. So we'll dive into a preview for that game momentarily. Of course, want to see what happens here. First off, 2 7-6 teams in the first 2 games today, and then the 7-6 Broncos are in Motown taking on the Detroit Lions later on tonight. And of course, would like another NFC North team to win that, if possible, as well. So, yeah, OT, 24-piece. Next score wins here with Minnesota and Cincinnati. Vikings won 3-0 last week at the Raiders. It was the first 3-0 game since the Steelers beat the Dolphins back on Monday Night Football in 2007, I might add. And then the Raiders go out and put up 63 on the Chargers, making them fire their head coach. Now the Vikings tied at 24 in overtime here today. So from then until now, they've woke up from midfield, second down. And it's going to be caught. And 3rd and short coming up. But they're going to be right on the cusp of field goal range here. Once again, next score wins. Cincinnati won the toss. They ended up punting, so unless they would have scored or Minnesota scored defensively, game's over. But because of the punt, there's a sneak, but they say timeout, so they'll replay it down 3rd and yard coming up once more. Yeah, since the Bengals punted, Minnesota gets the ball, next score wins. whether that's a field goal, touchdown, defense score of some sorts, with a safety or touchdown themselves. Next score wins. So we'll see here how this unfolds once more. But hoping, no doubt about it, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and Detroit win this afternoon. We'll see how everything shakes out, because of course, what you want versus what you get versus, game ain't played on paper, decided on the field. So a full 60 plus here in this matchup. They're going to sneak it again. And he's right there, so they should mark him. Yeah. Should mark him good enough for a first down. But yeah, that yellow line ain't official, just like the blue line, the black line, the red line for this or that. Whether you're offsides or not, who knows. Refs, of course, do try to control games way too damn much. But I'm not going to go there right now. If we do later, then we do. But do they say first down, or is he short, 4th and inches? And then what do? They're bringing chain gang out for measurement. So this will tell us all. He's short. He's a couple inches short. I mean, you could kick a long field goal. Like I said, you're right on the cusp of field goal range. Vikings are 5 of 5 on 4th and a yard this season. So, I mean, why don't you make it 6-6? Next score still wins. I mean, because if you punt and give them the ball back, next score still wins. Of course, don't really want to see a tie, but if it ends in a tie, it ends in a tie. Ties, especially this late in the year, are going to be as bad of a loss as you can get anyway. So, especially with both these teams at 7-6 and in the playoff picture. 4th and inches, they're going to go for it. And under center again, they're going to sneak it once more. And no way got that. God damn. So next score still wins. Yeah. He got a better push on the first sneak than he did that one. And if they marked him short before, they're definitely marking him short on that. That's a first down for Cincinnati. The refs are going to spot it. Yeah. That's not a first down. I mean, they could bring chain gang back out for measurement, but there's no fucking way that's a first down. I mean, so you got to give it to their defense. It was 7-3 Minnesota, and then 17-3 Vikings. Bengals came back and tied it at 17, and then 17, 24 apiece, and advantage of Minnesota. Bengals tie it. They've had their chances to win it, but we go to overtime. 6:12 to play in OT. Next score wins. Another measurement. He's definitely short on that one. And turnover on downs, 1st and 10 for the Cincinnati Bengals. So, yeah, you got to give them credit on defense, making stops like that. They actually haven't lost since they lost to Pittsburgh around Thanksgiving. And this is their second overtime game in the past 3 weeks, as they went to Jacksonville a few weeks back on Monday Night Football and won an OT. So, I mean, they're playing some pretty damn good football, no doubt about it. Got to give credit where credit's due once more, especially the backup quarterback and Jake Browning, with Joe Burrow done for the season. Jamar Chase just went down with an injury with a shoulder, seemingly in a sling under his sweatshirt. So we'll see what his future holds. Of course, Mixon's playing pretty damn good. And he'll mix it up on this play. 1st and 10. Still, next score wins this game in OT. Next score wins this game. Whether that's a Bengal field goal now, Bengal touchdown, let alone a defense score of some sorts for Minnesota. Once again, next score still wins this contest. So we'll see what it gets. Cutting close on time here. About 10 minutes away or so from kickoff with the Steelers and Colts. Both those teams once again at 7-6, but I think we should be done with this by the time we get kick-started in the Heartland. 2nd down over the middle, incomplete. Probably should have been picked off in midfield, but incomplete 3rd down. So now who's going to make a play? You know, because everybody's stuck. We'll see here what happens. Like I said, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, your rooting interests today are Minnesota, of course, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. We'll get into the games for tomorrow, regardless of what happens in their game today a little bit later on. But 3rd down, roll out, pass, caught, still on his feet inside the 30. Might have stepped out of bounds at the 25, but down to the 15, making the 13-yard line. So 1st and 10. He caught it right inside of field goal range, kept moving. Might have stepped out, like I said, but, you know, this is the Bengals game to lose now at this rate. You know, kick a field goal, you win it. Score a touchdown, you win it. Just don't do anything stupid. So they'll say 1st and 10, Cincinnati at the 13-yard line. So Minnesota with a timeout. Actually, Cincinnati with a final timeout. Of course, you're going to get 2 in overtime rather than 3. So they're 2nd in the final rather than 3rd and final. But still their final timeout here in OT. 4:36 to play. They're in field goal range. It's a 1st and 10 from 13-yard line. They'll probably run it a couple times, just work some clock. Hope not fumbled, of course. Because, of course, still next score wins this game. Minnesota can, you know, the defense score and win it. But really, it's to line up your field goal kicker and, you know, get him in the spot he wants to be, whether that's, you know, the left hash, right hash, or in the middle of the field. You know, and McPherson, as good as a kicker he is, you know, he'll probably make it, and the Bengals will win 27-22. Or 27-24, excuse me. As the Bengals no longer have any timeouts left. Vikings with their 2, plus a 2-minute warning if we get there. Mixon on the run to the 9 for pickup of 4. So 2nd down. It's really like, yeah, when do you kick it, but how much time does Minnesota let run off the clock, if they even care? As we've had a few announcer jinx in this game. McPherson's made 22 consecutive inside of 50. So, of course, this would be a chip shot. But 2nd down, and they'll line them up in the middle of the field. And McPherson gonna kick about a 32, 33-yarder, which is an extra point for the win in overtime here on a game-winning field goal. South Cincinnati won at Jacksonville a few weeks back, like I said, in OT on Monday Night Football. And now here we are on Saturday afternoon for this triple header in the NFL, as the college football bowl season has begun as well. We'll get more into that a little bit later on. But for the win, Minnesota to ice them, I would think. No timeouts. Kicks up and good. So the Bengals will beat the Vikings in overtime, 27-24. They're now 8-6. Minnesota falls 7-7. Makes the Steeler game coming up next against the Colts an even bigger must-win situation now for the black and gold. Unless they fall to 7-7. Of course, host the Bengals next week, but you win, you're both 8-6 in the next week. as they'll also be playing this time next Saturday afternoon at 4:30. So be sure to tune back in live right here on YouTube then. But one down, two to go in the NFL here today. We'll recap last week. We'll preview this week and next week as well. So stay tuned for all that. Like I said, there's college football bowl games on this Saturday as bowl season's underway. We'll take a look at that, so stay tuned. But to begin, thank you for tuning in and watching my NFL Pittsburgh Steelers and Indianapolis Colts live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. As always, once again, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cohen Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to social media. Links in the description below. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit that red subscribe button, notification bell next to it as well to stay up to date. Thumbs up button for a Steeler victory today. Their first, since they're on the road in Cincinnati. Of course, they came home the past couple games and lost on a short week as well last week, but lost to two different 2-10 teams in the Arizona Cardinals and Pittsburgh Steelers. Make it New England Patriots, the Steelers lost to. And now they're on the road against the Colts today. They're 7-6, should be winless, but I mean, you're as good as the teams you beat, let alone lose to. So yeah, Pittsburgh, they're about a 2-10, 3-10 team entering today right now as well. As maybe, the standard ain't the standard anymore. Maybe the aura of the black and gold is gone, with the toughness that it once used to be. As Ben Roethlisberger said this past week on his football and podcast, that maybe the tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers is gone. And of course, that made headlines, so hence the hat, as we're going back in time with the Steelers and Colts today. Pittsburgh leads the all-time series 27-6. The Colts actually haven't beaten the Steelers since 2008. They haven't beaten them at home since 2005. Pittsburgh's had their number, but the past four meetings overall have been decided by make it 7, 4, 3, and 2 points officially. So I'd expect another nail-biting, heart attack type of game for the Steelers, down to the wire, finish, a barn burner, if you will. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in and watching. Once again, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to social media. Links in the description below, thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag Steelers, hashtag Colts. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated. As well as this video is powered by Rogue Energy, HopeKThrifts, and Dead and Hungry. First off with Rogue Energy, be sure to get your favorite energy and hydration flavors in can or tub form. Shaker's Rogue Energy merch at the link in the description below. Be sure to use the code Luke, that's L-U-K-E, Luke123 for 10% off. HopeKThrifts, a secondhand resale shop that focuses on staying in the environment in a cheap and fashionable way, as most items are $20 or less. Include brands like American Eagle, Converse, Free People, and Shein, among others. HopeKThrifts found on Depop, Instagram, Macari, and Poshmark at, yes, you guessed it, HopeKThrifts. HopeKThrifts, HopeKThrifts. So be sure to use the message seller code CheapThrifts, that's CheapThrifts, CheapThrifts for 10% off. Link also in the description below. And then Dead and Hungry, novel written by Nathan D. Mitchell, found on Amazon for your Kindle for $4.99. Paperback edition about $15. Makes a perfect Christmas gift for everybody doing some Scrooging, Grinching it up, last minute Christmas shopping, down to the wire, as this game will probably come down to once more, as mentioned just a second ago. But link for the book in the description as well, so be sure to check it out. And as I normally say, of course, that doesn't interest you, you might as well be what the title says, Dead and Hungry. So yeah, go purchase and gift it as a Christmas gift to somebody. It's a must-read, no doubt about it. And if you're a book lover, it's for you. So shout out to Rogue Energy, HopeKThrifts, and Dead and Hungry once more. But Steelers and Colts kicking off here in a few seconds, as they'll take us from Cincinnati to Indianapolis, and they'll go to Detroit. So the NFL is in the Midwest today with these three games that were flexed from the normal Sunday game to the triple header this Saturday for the Saturday showdown in the National Football League, as they love to have the Saturday before or a week and a half or 2 weeks before on a Saturday before Christmas for a few games. It just depends on when the holiday is. Of course, Christmas a week from Monday. Hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year as well. Happy holidays for one of those people. Of course, they'll have 2 games next Saturday as well. The Steelers hosting the Bengals is one of them. They'll have games on Christmas Eve, and then, of course, the tripleheader on Christmas Day from the early to mid-afternoon window. Here we are today, and then on Christmas night as well before we get into the new year. But they'll take us from game day kickoff, as this game's on the NFL Network, I might add. Teams taking the field. So it'll be the black and gold against the blue and white. They met last year on Monday Night Football in Indianapolis. Pittsburgh won that game. So they've won every meeting they've met dating back to 2008. The Colts haven't won since 2008. They haven't won at home against Steelers since 2005. It doesn't look like the Colts are going to have the horseshoe logo on their helmets today, for what it's worth. They might be on the back where the numbers normally are, sort of the type they wore on Thanksgiving the one year against the Lions about 20 years or so ago. But yeah, there's a lot going on with these two teams. I mean, your record says exactly who you are. You're 7-6. Pittsburgh, yeah, no doubt about it. They could be with a few more wins, but they should be winless. No doubt about it. And as a Steeler fan, that hurts to say, but it's true. Truth hurts sometimes. Can't handle the truth, well, get lost. But they're 7-6. Even with as good or bad as they've been playing, they're still right there in the thick of it. Exactly where you knew they'd be anyway. So what's the fuss? Other than, you lose to 2 different 2-10 teams in the span of a week, less than a week at that. Okay, both at home. It wasn't like they won on the road or neutral site game of some sorts. No, I mean they've had their chances. It's momentum and maintaining momentum with this team in my eyes. They have been, of course, catch a break with the injuries, but it's next man up mentality. You play with who you have. Of course, Mitch Trubisky going to start at quarterback here again today for Pittsburgh. Mason Rudolph to run to his reindeer just in time for Christmas to back him up. Maybe that graphic will help them out as they go Colts the whole way across the board. They're going to have to run the football. Of course, around this defense way too damn much, but defense going to have to make them stops. And with what Ben was saying, about basically the Steeler way, with the toughness ain't there anymore. More so on offense than defense, because, no doubt about it, your team leaders are on the defense side of the ball with Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, and Nick Fitzpatrick. Atlanta Roberts has played well in the middle in his first year in the Steel City at linebacker. That's really where they haven't been able to catch a break with the injuries at the linebacker position. Really just defense overall. I mean, Kenny Pickett's, out with an ankle injury at quarterback. So, like I said, it's Trubisky and Gardner Minshew and his Minshew Mania magic at quarterback here today for this game. So we'll see how it plays out. Just, of course, nothing stupid. Maybe they needed that wake-up call to hope to finish strong. I mean, you got a 7-6 record, 4 more games, you split. There's another 9-8 campaign. You lose more than you win. It's a losing season. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know if they're going to be able to win 1, 2, let alone 3 or 4 down the stretch. Because, once again, as I've been saying all season long, you take care of business here and there, the rest will sort itself out. I mean, they have, but they haven't. They do this to themselves. They put themselves in tough positions, tough situations, and it's very frustrating as a Steeler fan, no doubt about it. And it ain't going to get any easier. Even with 3 of the next 4 against AFC opponents, to go to Seattle on New Year's Eve. But 2 of those 3 AFC games, with the Colts today, are in division in the AFC North. They host the Bengals, who they already beat, and then they go to Baltimore, who they already beat. So it's still there for the taking if they can take care of business, because right now in the AFC playoff picture, both these teams, Pittsburgh and Indianapolis respectively, are the 6 and 7 seeds in the playoffs as wild cards. Of course, going to have to go on the road to the 3 and the 2 seeds respectively as well. But if it would hold where it's at now, of course, still a lot of football to be played. So of course, as frustrating as it's been, and see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah, Ben Roethlisberger this past week on his footballing podcast with his co-host Spence, who a little quirky, but gets the job done. So shout out to Roethlisberger and his footballing podcast. Watch it every once in a while, as he's sort of found what he's going to do now in his retirement. Of course, he's been out now for 2 years. Pittsburgh has Kenny Pickett. Of course, now Mitch Trubisky at quarterback at the Colts. It looks like we're going to have Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner on the call for today's game for the NFL Network. So we'll see how much they discuss Mike Tomlin. As I know, a lot of other, Pittsburghers, Yinzers, if you will, are ready to move on. But like I've said, I'll stand up for him until the cows come home. Because once again, I know with as average as it's been at times, and they haven't won this or won that in how long. It's, once again, this is a big game for us as Mike Tomlin, yeah, no doubt about it. But, and it's really going to, determine the future of this game here today, let alone the rest of the season, on what they end up doing. Like I said, I don't think they're going to fire him. But the thing is, who are you going to go and hire? Because right now there is no worthy candidate to take over the Steelers. None. You could say the same thing, though, with when they would have hired, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin himself. So, it's situationally at this point. We'll see how it plays out, and then we'll discuss. Once again, they've put themselves in this position. They've dug themselves a hole. Can they find a way out? They're going to get the ball first here, it looks like. Colts are on the kickoff, so Steelers back deep to receive. Looks like they'll be going left to right across the television screen right in on dial on the return. They're not going to have to worry about defensively tackling Jonathan Taylor today, as he's out inactive for the Colts at running back. So, see if they can run the ball themselves, though. Of course, Najee Harris and the bowling ball of a bulldozer, Jalen Warren. Of course, the offense is going to have to move the ball. Trubisky going to have to make some plays and get it to Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, of course, Freiermuth the tight end. Steelers on the return out past the 20, 25, 30, 35 to the 37-yard line. All right, so they get good starting field position to begin the game. Now you got to capitalize off it. Jamie Rodall down on the sideline, so good to see her. But RSVP'd yes to a holiday party for this NFL game. But the Steelers have a big opportunity here to silence the critics, no doubt about it. Handoff, Najee Harris is going to lose the yard. So second down. So we'll see how they start, because we know how they start. It's either going to be, a slow start, and then they're coming from behind, or they're starting fast, which ain't much, for 1 or 2 drives. Got a few points on the board, and then they're trying to hold on to the lead. So it's going to be, you would have to think, the same old Steelers, no doubt about it. 2nd and 10. We'll see if they can wake up. From the 38. Fake the draw. Trubisky going to get sacked. Jesus fucking Christ. 3rd down, a minute in. They're going the wrong fucking way. Dump it the fuck off. He loves turning the ball over by forcing it, throwing interceptions. Let alone he holds on to it then too long and takes sacks. It's like, get rid of it. Dump it off. Naj was right there. 3rd and 14. Maybe they can eat some Christmas pie. Oh, now they run the screen. And barely get back to the line of scrimmage. So 4th down, they'll punt and go 3 and out, a minute and a half into this game. Jesus fucking Christ. Scratching your head, they're still scratching their ass. They're still trying to wake the fuck up. Because they've been barely getting by the skin of their ass. Presley Harvin in his blue suede shoes on the punt for the brand. And a return from the 20 to the 30. And they bring them down. So, be 1st and 10 Colts from there. 12:52 to play in this opening quarter with, Gardner Minshew. Minshew, mania and his magic. First year with the Colts. He's bounced around since coming out of college. Former Mike Leach QB at Wazoo. He can sling it. He can. 1st and 10 from 31 for the Colts. So they'll gallop for no gain. Highsmith wraps him up on the opening play. They'll give him a half a yard. So 2nd down. But you got Mike Tomlin in his 18th year. Shane Steichen in his 1st year as the Colts head coach. Brought Minshew over with him from Philly, as he was most recently offense coordinator with the Eagles, who won the NFC last year, but lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, of course. So 2nd down and 9 here for the Indianapolis Colts. As Pittsburgh's been coming undone, if you will, recently. Mojo, according to some, seem to be lost. And we'll get more into that discussion in a minute, because he's not wrong, okay? Roethlisberger ain't wrong with what he said. I'll flat out say that. He wasn't wrong. I mean, everybody has their own opinion. Of course, respect him for everything he did. And like he said, it's mainly on offense compared to defense. So we'll see if this defense can get off the field. 3rd and 2. Fake and complete the pass. Pittman, near side, 1st down Colts. So KZ pushes them out. Just frustrating. Very frustrating. I mean, maybe a little bit of a pick route, but the thing is with the refs, as long as they're calling down the middle, I don't have a problem. Minshew's quick pass complete. And Casey again on the tackle with Joey Porter Jr. So Colts trying to find some momentum here, get some rhythm built up. It's a must-win for both teams, but it's a bigger must-win for the Steelers. 2nd and 4, and be 3rd and inches, they say. All right. So normally, of course, we'd be rooting for the blue and white, Penn State fan, but it's black and gold today. Let's see if they can get off the field defensively. So 3rd and yard, they'll run up the middle, first down. I mean, with the defense recently, I mean, yeah, even with all the chances they've had, and you got to feel bad for them because they're out there the whole entire fucking game. I mean, they end up breaking because of that, because the offense is shit. Minshew dumps off, complete. So 2nd down and 8. This game feels slow for whatever reason, but it feels just slow. Like, of course, Pittsburgh, yeah. Slow as slow can get. Quick 3 and out, go nowhere. At least Colts have something going for them. Got to give them credit, but this Steeler defense needs to make a stop. But just the game, like, there's really not been just quiet. A lot of just slow. Empty set, they get it off. Watt off the edge with the sack. Down he goes and make it 3rd and 12. So TJ with the salute. Steeler Nation and their terrible towels, of course, as always, made the trip. Could have drove out from Pittsburgh. Of course, could have flown in from wherever you would have flew from, but just, yeah, it feels quiet. Slow game. So, let's see here. 3rd and 13 from the 45. Can they get off the field? Minshew slant. Boom. Big hit. KZ just fucking leveled them. So 4th down. That's Steeler football right there. That's Steeler football. Maybe the tradition's still there. And like I said, we'll get more into that talk in a second, because Roethlisberger very well could have said it for clicks for his podcast. I feel like he said it to light fire in their ass. Like, wake up. They're going to kick a long field goal. It's going to be like from 60. 56-yard field goal, they say. Of course, we are inside from the RCA Dome, which was the Hoosier Dome. No, good God, that was Mike Vanderjagt. No fucking chance. Hooked it. Wide left. No good. So now they got another short field. Can the offense capitalize off the missed field goal? But yeah, Lucas Oil Stadium, of course, home of the NFL Combine. Steelers go 3 and out to begin the game. Colts go about 35 yards or so. Attempt a 56-yard field goal. Shanked it wide left, so no good. So Pittsburgh's going to have another, good starting field position to work with. I mean, 37-yard line on the kickoff return to begin the game. They should have the ball close to around midfield after the missed kick. 1st and 10. Of course, tied at 0 here midway through the opening quarter. Tied at 0, 3 timeouts apiece. So something's got to give. 7-6 against 7-6. Both teams playing for their seasons. I mean, they're still in the playoff picture, but it's a must-win. So back against the wall, what are you going to do? As once again, Pittsburgh's put themselves, in these spots. Now it's time to find a way out of them. But yeah, like Roethlisberger said, maybe the tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers is done. They got filled there defensively, so I would think it's still there, but it's like he had said, more so on offense than it is defense, because like he had said, there's really not a leader. He was the leader. Since he's been gone, as he even said, he started, feeling it change in his last few years. That changing the guard, and I mean, if only it would have played a little better. Like I've said recently, maybe they win a few more games with him, let alone the past a few seasons without him. As of course, they still haven't had a losing season since 2003. Like I said, the last week, the way they've been playing, though, I'm done with that discussion. Like, really, yeah, who cares? It's the NFL. There's 32 teams. You're one of them. Like, there's no excuse, no reason for you to be playing like this. Like, they know they need to be playing better. At least I'd hope. 1st and 10, Trubisky's pass caught. Robinson out past midfield. 2nd and short coming up. So, we'll see if they can capitalize off this and, score some points. Even with a lead, they're trying to hold on. If they're down, they're trying to come back. There's no in between. It's just, as Tomlin said last week, no shit. It's who they are. It's who we are. This is what we do. Yeah, you play down to your opponent. 2nd and 3, Trubisky, hands off Najee Harris, no gain on the play. 3rd down. So, it's one good thing and then next to nothing. And they're getting stuff. So they got to convert. Just don't do anything stupid. Don't be turning the ball over. Okay? Freiermuth in motion. Trubisky out of the gun. We'll check down over the middle to 88 for a 1st down. So Muth chance. Is this a Steeler home game or an away game? Once more. But, work the middle of the field, get these tight ends involved. From earlier this season, with all the injuries, including him, with or without him, they still weren't getting tight ends the ball enough. But 1st and 10, handoff Jaylen Warren, and he'll get 4, maybe 5 up the middle. So just keep it simple, as they love to do. Work the sticks, one play at a time. Just nothing stupid. Especially with Trubisky at quarterback, don't turn the ball over. I mean, every fucking game that they've lost, they've had their chances. And then you look back at the final score. Fake the give, fake the end around, run a screen that's almost picked off. Luckily, it was dropped incomplete, so 3rd down. But 3 of their 6 losses by 14 or more. Of course, they lost by 10 to Jacksonville, and then lost on a game-winning field goal to the Browns by 3. Lost by 3 last week, in which they had a chance to kick a field goal and they didn't. They've had their chances. Of course, all 7 wins by 1 score, but they've had their chances. 3rd and 6 from the 38. Trubisky down the middle again, caught at the 23-yard line. The Pickens. George Pickens is going to like that. Of course, I can understand the frustration from the divas at wide receiver throughout Steelers history at times, no doubt about it. You want the ball more. But double crosser, and they bid on the first guy, and Pickens wide open behind him, so he gets in the ball and knocking on the door. 1st and 10 from the 23 here this December 16th, 2023. Handoff to Double Deuce 22, Najee Harris for a yard. So 2nd down, but they're getting everybody involved. Can they? No shit, they haven't clicked. They haven't been able to sync up. They got to be able to put it all together. They got to execute. Execution is key. Even with as good or bad, once again, as you're playing, you still got to execute. You still got to play good. Because if not, you're going to be in the position you're in at times. And here they are. Pump fake, 2nd and 9, and then complete. Pickens again inside the 10, 1st and goal. You got to punch it in. You got to score. You can't settle for fucking 3. You got to score a touchdown. Excuse me. You got to score a touchdown here, boys. Come on, let's go. First and 10. Make it 1st and goal from right inside the 10-yard line. Motion man going to be Austin. They'll run a toss to Warren far side, and he's going to be down to 1. He's fun to watch. He is. He's explosive. Give it to him again. Give it to him again. Might have got away with a hold or a block in the back there, but down to 1-yard line, 2nd and goal. Give it to him again, I'm telling you. Keep running it. Run the damn ball. Out of the gun with trips near side on 2nd goal from the 1. They'll run a draw up the middle. Warren, maybe a half yard. So 3rd and goal. I'd give it to him again. I would. Or at least get Naj in there and pound it with him. Get them both in there and catch defense off guard. They'll go hurry up and they'll sneak it. 3rd and goal from the 1, but I don't think he got it. No. Jesus Christ. How can you not fucking punch it in? He's short. Now, do you go for it or do you kick it? Take the points. You got to be aggressive. You got to go for it. I mean, you put them in a tough spot. Of course, you just don't want to give a 99-yard touchdown drive like you did against the Cardinals a couple weeks ago, to the Colts here. 4th and goal. Pittsburgh's going to line up to go for it from the half-yard line. And they'll sneak it again. Trubisky's in. Touchdown. Fumble. Naj picks it up. He walks in. Touchdown Steelers. I think he was in anyway. Then the ball came out. They punched it out. Naj picked it up. Fumble. How's this Colts ball? How is it Colts ball? They recovered and walked in. It's touchdown. That's a touchdown right there for 1. Then the ball came out. Then they picked it up and still walked in. Touchdown. How is it Colts football? Other than they'll say you can't advance it. That's a touchdown for the Steelers. He reached across the goal line, so to speak. That's a touchdown. With 1:09 to play in the first. That's a touchdown. These fucking refs. The NFL officiating in 2023, not much better than it's been in years past. I mean, how is that not a touchdown? Yeah, he fumbled, but they still were able to pick it up and run it in. Unless they'll say you can't advance it. Why can't you advance it? It's a fucking fumble. Let alone right before he reached across the goal line. That's a touchdown. Then the ball came out. So none of that shit afterwards fucking matters. It's a touchdown. So they take a break. They say turnover on downs, though. Colts ball, that's the thing. How is it Colts football? It's a touchdown for the Steelers. So they should be looking at it in the meantime, reviewing it. And it should be a touchdown. And I'd be surprised if it ain't. I mean, I'm already flipping shit that it ain't. Because how ain't it? Seriously, how is this not a touchdown? So hopefully we come back from break. They say, calls not even confirmed or overturned. It's just a touchdown on the field. even though they were signaling Colts football first down. How? Seriously, how in the hell was that a touchdown? Just frustrating, you know? Okay, now they give us a split screen coming back from break. Steelers have 6 points on the scoreboard, so it's going to be a touchdown Pittsburgh. I was going to say, yeah, how in the hell was that not a touchdown? Low on the first down for the Colts, that's a touchdown. So Trubisky with a quarterback sneak from a yard out, touchdown Steelers. And they take an early lead here at the end of the first quarter. Yeah, touchdown. Boswell on for the extra point. Upon further review, he broke the plane. Touchdown, yeah. Then the ball came out, so none of that fucking matters after the fact, even though Naj picked it up and walked in. Yeah, they had rolled it dead. You can't advance it. Extra points up, doinks it off the fucking uprights, no good. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So missed field goal, now missed extra point by both teams. 6-0. Minute 12 to play in the first quarter here. At least they have the early lead. Yeah, that's a touchdown right there. Then the ball was punched out, fumble. They would have blown it dead. You can't advance it. Even though Naj picked up and walked in, touchdown. They say turnover on downs, first down Colts, but then they look at it, it's touchdown Steelers. And then he misses the extra point. He doinks it off the upright. So 6-0. So Colts are going to get the ball back here. So Pittsburgh with a 3-0 to begin the game, even with a good field. Colts went, like I said, 30, 35, 40 yards or so. Missed the 56-yarder. Steelers with a short field. Drive, scored touchdown. Missed the extra point, but it's right now a field position game with the Steeler defense able to get off the field and then the offense finally waking up and driving and scoring. So just got to be balanced. You got to be consistent. You know, they like to keep it simple, so we'll see here how we go from here. But 1st and 10 Colts from the 25-yard line after the touchback. After the Steelers touchdown, 6-0. So, all right. At least they have an early lead. But guess what? They're going to try to hold this the rest of the way and not do a damn thing until they have to again. 1st and 10 from 25. And they'll run the ball. 3 yards up the middle. 2nd down, so under a minute to play in this first quarter. We'll hit the reset button here in a second. But yeah. Yep. Out of the pistol. They'll fake the run. And gets hit as he throws. Ball and dropped. Incomplete. It's incomplete. Incomplete, 3rd and 7. As he probably should have been sacked. And then, yeah, he dropped it. So incomplete. With coverage there from, looked like Patrick Peterson, if I'm not mistaken, and somebody else. Didn't catch a number, but 3rd and 7. Yeah, come on, defense. Let's make a stop. Get the hell off the field here again. Get the ball back, and then you work the clock. You know, you control the line of scrimmage, control the clock. One turnover battle, you're going to win. Minshew down the sack again. Larry, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ogunjobi takes him down. That's 2 sacks by the Steelers defense in the first 15 minutes of this game. And that'll do it for the first quarter. So the Colts will punt to begin the second quarter. Pittsburgh going to get the ball back with a one-scored lead. touchdown 6-point lead because he missed the extra point. So at the end of the first, it is 6-0 Steelers on top of the Colts. We'll pull up some stats in a minute, but once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button, share, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, super likes, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated as well. Be sure to go check out Rogue Energy, HopeKThrifts, and Dead and Hungry as well. Links also in the description below. We're also watching from the early window in the NFL with the Bengals overtime win against the Vikings. Of course, this Steeler-Colt game, and then Broncos-Lions later on tonight. Got College Football Bowl season underway. We went from the Myrtle Beach Bowl to now the New Orleans Bowl and the Avocados from Mexico Bowl in a downpour, an absolute monsoon. So from reverse now, this Avocados from Mexico, Cure Bowl, Miami, Ohio, and App State. Field goal game, 6-3 because of the rain. Jacksonville State and Louisiana Lafayette in the New Orleans Bowl. Ohio, not Ohio State, but Ohio, the Bobcats out of MAC. They won the Myrtle Beach Bowl on the turf down there. Games still to come today on this first day of bowl season. Officially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 college football games today. The Ohio beat Georgia Southern Beach Bowl. Right now, I got Jacksonville State and Louisiana Lafayette in the New Orleans Bowl. Miami, Ohio, and App State, as mentioned once again, the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. Later on tonight, New Mexico State, Fresno State, and the New Mexico Bowl. UCLA and Boise State in the Los Angeles Bowl in the City of Angels. And then the Independence Bowl will feature 2 6-6 teams with Cal and Texas Tech. So there's that. But before we move any further, like I said a little bit ago, rooting interest for the Steelers today. Of course, you want the Pittsburgh Steelers to win. You wanted Minnesota to win earlier. That did not happen. You want the Lions to win later on tonight, defeating the Broncos if possible. Tomorrow, rooting interest for the Steelers. You want the Dolphins, Titans, Bears, Patriots, Cowboys, and Jaguars all to hopefully win. But back to it. Second quarter to begin. Steelers up 6-0 on the hosting Indianapolis Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium in the Heartland, Indianapolis, Indiana. For the second of 3 NFL games. It's Saturday. You know what that means? Saturday, December 6th. They block the punt. They do it again. And they pick it up in the end zone. Touchdown Steelers. Nick Herbig. They're going to mark him down to 1. They block the punt again. In the offense times. Offense for the Steelers. It's a third block the season and the second in 2 weeks. They did it last week against the Colts. It was Connor Hayward with the left hand. Cam's little brother. Herbig, the rookie out of Wisconsin. They're going to mark him down at the half-yard line. By contact rather than he slid into the end zone, touchdown. They got a 1st and goal. Talk about short field. Block the punt. You got to score. You know, if you go for 2, okay, but kick the extra point and go up 13. So 1st and goal. Yep. Rich Eisen saying go blue very quietly. 1st and goal from the 1. Sneak it again. Get in there. Now we got a booth review. They're going to make sure it wasn't a touchdown before they even have to line up on offense to snap it. They block the punt. I see, that's a touchdown right there. You know? They're both going after it. He has possession, sliding into the end zone, and they're just tied up. You know, so you can say contact. but he's in the end zone. The thing is, they rolled him down to 1. So they have to find indisputed evidence to return it. It'll probably stand. It'll probably be Steelers first and goal at the 1. They still blocked the fucking punt, though. That's what matters. Okay, they got a short field. You can't get any line. Though, and then just touchdown, and then Boswell just has to get out. This doesn't even need to do anything. You got to punch this in there. You can't turn it over yourself. You can't do nothing. I mean, if you got to sell for 3, okay, so be it. But and you take the points, you go up 9, which is 2 scores. I mean, it should be 10, but they miss the extra point, dunked off the right upright. But you got to score a touchdown. You know, and like I said, if you go for 2, then if you score, then okay. You're up 14, but I just kicked the extra point. You know, it's 13-0. It's still a lot of football to be played. As Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are the MVBs, as the refs were the MVPs in their game from the officiating crew's side of things last week. They're both going to get fined, I heard. Who knows how much after what they said after the fact. But, I mean, the officiating's fucking terrible. It sucks. You know, so, I mean, you can't blame them. You can't. I mean, even though it didn't really make them look good, you know, with bitching about it after the fact, you know, sometimes you want to keep your mouth shut, but, yeah, the officiating's been terrible, man. There's always controversy. Just when we think it's getting better, it's getting worse. So, no, previous plays on further review. Steeler ball first down to 1 after the blocked punt, but they might overturn it. It might be a touchdown. So, Rodney Williams blocked the punt. They got a first and goal from the 1 now. So it stands after the blocked punt. Didn't get in. The handoff, Najee Harris. He's going to try to bounce some tackles. Loses a few yards back to the 5-yard line. Got third blocked punt of the season. Killebrews blocked 2 of them. Rodney Williams recovered the 1, but then they said safety against the Ravens. Last week against the Patriots, it was Killebrew again. And then they, you know, ended up scoring off of it. Got the 2-point. Remember, right before, though, they had the chance on 4th and 2 to kick the field goal, and they didn't. Of course, they lose by 3. But then today, Connor Hayward blocks it. Nick Herbig recovers. 2nd and goal. Pass caught. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson. So the extra points up and good. 13-0 Steelers. Sorry for the technical difficulty there with the buffer disconnect and reconnect. We're back up and running. So, yeah, they blocked the punt. 2 plays later, they score. And now they're up 2 scores, 13-0. Pressure's on the Colts. 14:07 to play in the first half. Of course, you want to keep putting it to them. You know, pedal to the metal. Been a lot of blowouts in football this weekend, I might add. But you don't want to give them the chance to come back because they just love when they get the early lead just to try to hold on and win. You know, versus then when they're down, they're trying to come from behind. You know, there's no in between them. It's just who they are. But yeah, 3rd block punt of the season. So they had 1 against the Ravens. It was a safety. Had 1 last week against the Patriots. I know the schedule's all, you know, messed up. You know, you play Sunday at 1 o'clock, Thursday night. You know, Saturday game today, Saturday game next week. Then you got 2 Sunday games to finish it out before the playoffs begin. And hopefully they're there. We'll see. Still, take care of business. Try to sort itself out. You'll be fine. I mean, they do it to themselves. You know, now you got to find a way out. But, yeah, they have gotten points off of all of the blocked punts. The safety scored off the 1 last week. Got a 2-point try as well. Remember, right before it was the 4th and 2. They went for it, didn't get it. Then the blocked punt happened. Who knows if that still happens? It did, though. So, like I said then, say it did because it did. If only they, you know, would have had the field goal. You know, that game would have been tied at 21. Patriots didn't even score in the second half, you know, to hold on to win. But that game's tied at 21 then. Who knows what happens if you go to overtime. And then luckily they're not playing up against a former Steeler today because they've been getting beat by former Steelers recently. Past 2 games, Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner to name a few. But then seemingly every other game before then against a former Steeler or 2. Today, nobody that I'm aware of. But then today, okay, another blocked punt. 2 plays later, they score a touchdown. So special teams stepping the hell up. We have game kicker and Chris Boswell. Yeah, right upright. Made the last one, so a 1-point differential right now, even in a 13-0 game. 1 point left off the board from the Steelers. It's 13-0, should be 14-0. It is what it is. 14:07 to play in the half. They're going to kick off. Colts going to get the ball back. So now this defense, they can feed off this, make some more stops. Offense just continue to, slowly roll like the slow roll and roll they are. And just, of course, get out healthy and try to get out with a win. They ran a little bit of picker out bottom screen. Refs were letting them play. Have we even had a flag thrown? I don't think so. But a little dump off in the flat far side. And Johnson walks in from a few yards out, touchdown. So that's the thing. When you're winning, it's all happy. You're losing, though, hell's on fire. 1st and 10, ball's deflected, almost picked off, incomplete. 2nd and 10, yeah, that wasn't looking good for them. With Highsmith getting his hand up and batting it down. Really batting it up, then it came down incomplete, but you get my point. It's actually Golden, Marcus Golden, 44. Former Cardinal. So incomplete, 2nd and 10. From 25. And draw over middle, caught. Pittman tackled by KZ out past the 45. So 1st and 10. All they need is a spark. You got to give them some credit, but see, this Steeler defense can make a stop or 2. Moss to the 49-yard line, 2nd down. Come on, defense. Yeah, the tackling machine, Atlanta Roberts, brings them down. Of course, remember, they lost Cole Holcomb, lost Quan Alexander. He's really the last one left standing at linebacker. He's been banged up himself as well. Of course, Watt was injured last week, returned, and then cleared concussion protocol this past week, playing today. Highsmith had a neck injury with a concussion day. So, some sting week or season long, so far this season. From now Kenny Pickett had Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson to start the year, Cam Hayward, Minka was out for how long? Returned, broke his hand, put a club on it, and has been playing through it. 3rd and 5, of course, he's been the one to call everybody out. Minka has, and rightfully so. Cam's going to say some stuff too. 3rd and 5. Minshew's pass caught. How the fuck did he get that wide open? Michael Pittman from USC is single-handedly beating the Steelers right now. Just, yeah, kept it alive, and Steeler defense gets blown away. Should have been sacked, right? There, and then he got rid of it, and now they got a 1st and goal at the 8. TJ Watt wraps him up in the backfield. We'll see if that goes down as a sack or a tackle for loss on Minshew, but 2nd and goal after a loss of 7 or so. Shit's being said in locker room. It's just publicly from the team, unless it's the post game and, shit gets out. Okay. because everything's in-house. But second and goal from the 11. False start, back him up again, another 5 yards. Second and goal from the 16. So, yeah, that's our first penalty today, ain't it? 5 yards on the false start. 11:50 and counting to play in the half. Steelers lead the Colts 13-0. Back at the 16-yard line now. So they, of course, got that big play on third down, but now can go backwards. Fake the draw, dump off on the screen. Walker chasing them down. They tackled him right there at the goal line. They'll say touchdown. There's a flag on the play. It's probably against Steelers anyway for a fucking horse collar. So they'll either enforce it on the kickoff or it'll be declined and touchdown. And then the difference in this game is going to be a missed extra point by the Steelers early. That's a touchdown, especially if they say touchdown on the field. And the flag, it's... Yeah, because they can enforce it half the distance on the extra point and then go for 2. Looks like they'll take it on the kickoff. So they'll kick off from midfield. Steelers going to still start first there from the 25-yard line. Because it'll be a touchback. So touchdown Colts. It's 13-6, extra point to come. Yeah, difference in this game is a missed extra point by the Steelers right now. Even though they have a score lead, 13-6, make it 13-7 with this extra points up and good. Remember, Colts missed a 56-yard field goal too. So this game's a hell of a lot closer than, a score shown right now. A little bit of a, slow, quiet start, but sort of picked up some pace here recently, and Colts extra points up and good. So 13-7, 11:21 to play in the half. Steelers are going to get the ball back. It should be first and 10 at the 25-yard line after touchback because they're going to kick off from midfield. And then, maybe work some clock. You got 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. But playing some Johnny Cougar, Mellencamp, if you will, or as he even calls himself, John Cougar Mellencamp. As he's from the heartland himself, just like the Jackson 5. So, a little ABC 1, 2, 3, some points left off the board. We can count, though, 13-7, and the Steelers have a lead, getting the ball back. So, we'll... just hopefully that missed extra point doesn't come back to bite him in the ass. I'll say right now. But eventually, defense going to give us some points, but offense still has to, play smart and that physicality, the toughness that we were talking about a little bit ago, and the Steeler way, the tradition, really the fight, as the saying goes, like about side of the fight and the dog, or side of the dog and the fight. It's still there for the taking. Okay. They got to take care of business. It's must win. Must win for both teams, but it's a bigger must win for them. How do they play with this lead? Because it's always like with the lead, they're holding on. Versus if once again they're down, they're coming from behind. There's no in between on them. It's just who they are. And that's what Mike Tomlin said last week. After they lost to another 2 different 2-win, 10-loss team, making them 3-10 then with the Cardinals and Patriots. That this is who we are. This is what we do. Yeah, no shit. You play down to your opponent. So we'll see how they play from here. I'd like, to work some clock for sure. You're on the road. Hopefully you can run the football, work some clock when you need to. But Colts kicking off from midfield here. They squib it. Return from the 10, 15, 20, 25 to the 30, 35. So they should have cooked it deep. It would have been a touchback. The squib came back to bite them in the ass. So the Steelers, another good starting field position. No, from the 37-yard line to the 3 and out, from right around midfield, and the touchdown. Of course, they blocked the punt. 2 plays later from the 1-yard line, they score. Starting from the 36 here on this drive. So, yeah, I mean, they have a 6-13-7 lead because they've had good starting field position today. No doubt about it. Just nothing stupid. Run the damn ball. Najee Harris for that's of course with well that's Steeler football. It's toughness. Steel curtain. And Roethlisberger stating, yeah, and it's true. Everything's being passed down. Yeah, you still have leaders, but really not on offense. So somebody step up. Who's it going to be? From midfield. First and 10, Trubisky gets sacked. Jesus Christ. Flag on the play. Flag on the play, though. Maybe some unsportsmanlike conduct. All right. This is going to be against the Colts, it looks like. So the sack's coming off the board. Got a hold on the Colt defense. Automatic first down, right? Yep. See if it was a good call or not. Yeah, he fucking tackled him. So first and 10 after the penalty. Ball at the 45-yard line. Yeah, it's like a 10-yard. It's a 5-yard penalty, but it's like a really 10-yard difference. Toss to Warren near side. He's got some blockers, and he gets inside the 30, just scooting his way for a first down. And another flag on the play. Now it's going to be a hold on the fucking Steelers, and it's coming back. God damn. So, all right, they're calling down the middle. It is what it is. Let's see a replay. Was it a good call, though, or not? Because the thing is, holding happens on every play. Yeah, all right, I'll look at that. God damn. Yeah, it takes off a big gain and a first down. So they'll replay first down again. It'll be first and 20. Probably, 45-yard line, midfield. I think they're going to have to respot the ball here. Yeah. Yeah, so the ball going to be at midfield. It'll be officially first and 11, they say. First and 11 for the Steelers. Now make it first and 16. All right, now they can't even, with as bad as the refs are, and then I get network can only, work so fast that, relaying info to us. Trubisky going to air it out deep down the middle. It's going to be fucking picked off. Of course it is. 10 for Pickens. And after all that, they turn it over. Jesus Christ. And now just back and forth with the momentum. You have a 13-0 lead, just gave it a touchdown, and just gave them the ball back. Now they're going to, have a chance to take a lead because you missed an extra point. I mean, he put it up there for him. Pickens, it's just a good play by the DB. He was the one who came down with it, and it wasn't him, and picked it off. Decent return for a few, and so now the Colts will have a first and 10, down 6 here. 3 timeouts themselves and 2-minute warning with less than 10 to play in the half to probably work some clock and, hope to drive and score. And take their first lead. Because once again, right now, the difference in this game is going to be the missed extra point by the Steelers. When they're up 6-0 rather than 7-0. Of course, they score again after the blocked punt. Extra point, something good there. 13-0. Give up a touchdown, 13-7. They just give the ball back on interception. So they turn it over themselves. But, I mean, after that, really, you look ahead, the only good thing going for them is they're going to get the ball back to begin the second half. Or no, they won't. Colts will because they kicked off. Sorry, my bad. Still, like, it's early. There's a lot of football to be played, so they're just going to have to make some plays. They're going to make some stops defensively. Run the defense, again, way too damn much not about it. The offense, of course, nothing stupid. Can't turn the ball over there like you did, but they did. So defense going to have to get them out of it and rely on special teams. I mean, special teams is why they don't have one more point than they do. But, they have the second touchdown after the blocked punt on special teams. And then special teams with the good starting field positions that they've had, of course, turn the ball over there. And, we're able to drive early and score. So, I mean, yeah, it's really like defense, special teams, offense for Pittsburgh. But it's just, once again, who they are. It is what it is. End of story. They do it to themselves. So, as I was saying, Roethlisberger this past week, tradition, potentially going for black and gold. Like I said, he's not wrong. Some people will say he's not right either because everybody has their own opinion. But, I mean, yeah, it's been some tough sledding without him. It's been frustrating. I knew it was even frustrating the last few years of his career with him for as, average as they are playing, though, too. But it's just who they are, they play down their opponent. For whatever reason, they play down their opponent. Showing of the interception. Colts get a few yards there, so second down, but talking about, the toughness, not what it once was. I mean, really anymore, what is what it once was. It's just life, goes on as everything changes, unfortunately. But as much as you want to say the same, it's not going to. They say incomplete. KZ is going to get ejected. He was headhunting on that play. Pittman's slow to get up. Hopefully he's okay. Never want to see him get hurt. But he just lowered the fucking boom. You want to talk about toughness? There you go. That's Steeler football. We're going to fucking lay your ass out. It's going to be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct on the personal foul. He's going to get thrown out. So somebody's going to have to step up in the back end. So DeMonte Casey's been making plays. He had a big hit earlier, bigger hit here, but it's going to cost him. And hopefully he's okay, because that, of course, nowadays in the NFL, football in general is what they're trying to, take out of the game. You don't want the helmet-to-helmet contact. But it's incomplete. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on DeMonte KZ of the Steelers. 15 yards, automatic first down, and 23 has been ejected. Yeah, he's been DQ'd for the rest of the game. He's going to get thrown out. So, it is what it is. You got to play through it. The football ain't just talk about what it used to be. Of course, that's just football, though. You're going to get fucking hit, But, I mean, it's the right call. So you play through it. One of these teams is hopefully going to use it to their advantage. Hopefully it's the visiting black and gold. Play for them, if you will. Step up. But who's it going to be in the back end to step up and replace him? I mean, because he's been making some plays today. And Pittman's been the one making every play for the Colts seemingly too. So now he's hurt. Hopefully he's okay. He was able to walk off. He's going to get checked out. Because, of course, never want to see him get hurt by any means. But, yeah. KZ going to watch the rest of the game from the locker room, unfortunately. So, and Pittman's going to be in concussion protocol, I think, and won't return. So then who steps up for the Colts without him because he's been making all the plays for him? But that was a fucking hit. That's old school. That was... I mean, I said boom on the first one. That one, yeah, you just... It's not tough to watch because it's football. You know that's the thing. You know you're going to get hit when you sign up. But it's just the rules. They're trying to take it away. It is what it is. So it'll be automatic first down after the 15-yard penalty. We'll see where the ball is going to be at. Colts trying to, cut this lead, let alone if they had the field goal from earlier, could tie it up, but let alone take a lead here. Because the difference right now is going to be the missed extra point by the Steelers. Minshew down the middle, caught, and then now they say incomplete, it hit the turf. Now I got an injured Steeler after a big hit as well. Is that Minka had a lower body injury. He was out a few games. Returned in the first game back. Broke his hand. Clubbed it. Missed a beat since. Now he's down hurt again. So back to the injuries. He can't catch a break. Once again, from offensively, Deontay Johnson, Pat Freiermuth, Kenny Pickett being out for X amount of weeks. And then returning. Of course, Pickett's still out. Trubisky at quarterback with Rudolph behind him. Trace McSorley still on the practice squad, so they don't have a emergency third-string quarterback again today, as they did last week. But then that opens the door, on the 53-man roster for somebody else, to be active. And then defensively, from Cam Hayward going down. All the injuries at linebacker, and then Minka. Minka's down again. KZ just got thrown out. You play through it. It's next man up mentality. The standard is the standard. Roethlisberger was saying, last week about toughness. I don't think that's gone because they're out there making some big hits. Like, they heard the outside noise. Don't get me wrong. I think they heard that clear as day. And then some. Because like I said, he either said it for clicks, for his football and podcast. But I feel like he said it to light fire in their ass because he knows as much as we do, as they do. They could be playing 10 times better than they are. And should be, but they're not because it's just who they are. They play down to their opponent. So, what? 1st and 10, make it 2nd and 10 after another incompletion, but then you got another injury. And Minka's hurt, so it looked like he was holding his hand, whether it was his right hand that's not broke or his left hand that is, that has the club. Who knows? Maybe he re-broke it. But it's going to be 2nd and 10 Colts. Ball what? Around midfield? 13-7 Steelers, 8:37 to play in the half. Here's a replay. Boom. Well, that's not even helmet to helmet. That is shoulder. Yeah, exactly. Right to the face, though. I mean, that could be a clean hit, depending on who you... But they, in live time, see it. Oh, flag's coming flying, and no doubt, I mean, it was a big hit. I mean, that's like Jack Tatum. 2nd and 10 Colts, complete over the middle. And for 13 to the 41. They're going to go hurry up. Trips near side. Quick bubble screen complete. And a tackle after about a 6-yard pickup. Thompson wraps him up from behind. So we'll see who takes advantage of everything that, just happened. I mean, sometimes you got to have, shit go sideways to wake up. 2nd and 5. A little grabber from the end of work for about 2, maybe 3. So you play with who you have. That's why you have them on the roster to begin with, because you believe in them that much. You didn't. So, I mean, they're in a tough spot, but coulda, woulda, shoulda, put up a shut up time. I mean, come on, let's play. You don't play for the name on the back, you play for the name on the front. 3rd and 3. And Minshew gonna pump fake, avoid a sack. Watt chasing him down. He slides, but he's short. No. 4th and inches. We'll see if they go for it. They could kick a long field goal here from close to 50. Remember, they missed from 56. They have that. Kick a field goal here. You tie it at 13. Right there, yeah, he's short. Now they're going to bring Chenging out for a measurement. Looks like they're going to line up to kick the field goal anyway, unless they do give them the first down. And then this would, be close to 50. But whatever you do, don't jump off sides, give them an automatic first down. I mean, because they, could go for it for one, let alone run a fake field goal on your ass. He's short by about a football. So the offense is going to go back out. 4th and a yard, they're going to go for it. Do not jump off sides. Do not jump off sides. There's been a lot of those in football recently, so do not jump off sides. Offensively, well, they can jump off sides, false start all the fuck they want. Defensively, do not jump off sides. Going to be a big play here, especially as we're near halftime. It doesn't look good for Minka. 4th and a yard. They're going to go for it. Line up under center. And now we got a whistle. And a timeout or a flag. All right, Colts go for it. Colts get it. First down. Once again, sorry for the tunnel difficulties, but they got a 1st and 10. Knocking on the door. From the 22. They're going to, could still kick a field goal, but hope to score a touchdown here and take a lead. That's a hold on 73. 9-yard gain. 2nd and short coming up. Minka's questionable. So, yeah, a lot of injuries, but still, you play through it. From the 13-yard line. They'll run it. First down and goal now inside the 10. Under 5 to play in the half. Difference is that missed extra point. God damn. It'd be nice to have right about now. I mean, because if you do get a touchdown, you're tied at 14 at least, rather than down. because then you got to play from behind. Whether it's a point or 10, you're down. First and goal. About a yard. Ogunjobi and Walker on the tackle. So yeah, Indy's working some clock here too, I might add. So, can you force a field goal like you just did? But then they go for it, get it, drive stays alive. I mean, they settled for a field goal earlier, missed it. They'd be wanting to have that right now, of course, but screen, touchdown. God damn. All right, I was going to say, give up field goal, give up touchdown, all right, whatever. You're getting the ball. 3 timeouts and the 2-minute. In the second half, he's down at the 2. He's down at the 2. That's no touchdown. He's down at the 2. He's down at the 2-yard line. Yep. They're not going to be happy about that because nothing's really gone their way today. Yeah, 3rd and goal from 2. So defense can still luck out and maybe force field goal here. It's still 13-7. No touchdown. And it's going to get overturned. Well, all scoring plays are reviewed anyway. So he's down to the 2-yard line. Be 3rd and goal from there. See, the Steeler defense can make a stop. So they've already overturned it. 3rd and goal from the 2. Come on, defense. It wasn't a dirty play. It was in live time, and he hit him. I mean, that's just football. But they're going to throw the flag for how it happened. I said that. 3rd and goal from the 2. Incomplete on the fake. So 4th and goal. They're going to go for it again. Defense might luck out. Colts might not get anything here. I mean, you can get a couple points with the field goal. You'd still like to have that field goal from earlier. You're tied at 13 then, but would you rather be down 13-7 or 13-10? They're going to go for it. Remember, Steelers won 4 and 4 and goal scored. That was from the 1, though. This is from the 2. 4th and goal, Colts from the 2. Looking to take their first lead. 3:27 to play in the half. Steelers going to get the ball back after this anyway. Minshew, pass, caught, touchdown. And then he dropped it. Incomplete. No, incomplete. He dropped it. He didn't have full control and possession the whole way through. Incomplete. Turnover on down. Steelers ball. 1st and 10 from the 2. Now they got a ways to go. Why don't you go on a 98, 99-yard touchdown drive like you gave up a couple weeks ago? Score before halftime. They might look at that, though. They might. No, as he turned, the ball's coming out. He didn't have control and possession the whole way through. That's incomplete. Drop. Turnover on downs. So remember, they had the touchdown down at the 2-yard line. Incomplete. Go for him, 4th goal. Could have kicked it. Don't. Then it's incomplete. They could look at it, though, challenge it, say he had it long enough for a catch. Then he, dropped it. It fell incomplete, but it's still good enough for a touchdown. So, I mean, we'll see, because it could be. But the call on the field is incomplete. And turnover on downs. 1st and 10 Steelers from the 2-yard line. So they have to find a bit of evidence to return it. I don't think they're going to have that because it's, clear cut that he dropped it, Like he caught it, but as he turned, the ball was coming out incomplete. And then it just rolled out of the back of the end zone, so nobody officially recovered it. If they would have, maybe catching a fumble touchdown, maybe a touchback then by the Steelers on a fumble recovery, maybe somehow it's a safety of some sorts. It'd really be a touchback, but should be Steeler ball, 1st and 7 from the 2. up 13-7, 3:27 in the first half, 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. I mean, go drive, kick a field goal, go up 9, go up, 13-14 with a touchdown. You have a 2-score lead at half. They get the ball beginning the second half, but it's really and then in the defense's hands to win you the game. So we'll see. I mean, they just made a huge stop. They got off the field when they needed to, rather than giving up a mixture of, they could have gave up 2 touchdowns. They could have gave up a field goal there twice as well. Because remember, they had the 4th and inches. They went for it. Drive stayed alive. And then end up going for it again after could have kicked another field goal. Could have kicked another field goal, let alone scored a couple touchdowns. Yeah, like, they had their chances. 1st and 10, Steelers from the 2. Get some breathing room. No safety. Get some breathing room here. Rock the Najee Harris. Gonna be stuffed, but they're pushing the pile. How the hell don't they blow that dead beats me, but they give him about a yard or 2. So 3rd or 2nd down. Yeah, as he rolled and it was coming out, it's incomplete. It's got to be a full catch. But yeah, right there. Ball's coming out. And the Yins are helping out the 4-1-2 today. 2nd and 8. Clock's ticking, 2:42 and counting. How he got 2 yards on that beats me, but Najee Harris again, boom, to the 6. So they got a 3rd and medium here. You don't have to snap it if you don't want to. Take a 2-minute warning. Because they're not calling their timeouts just yet. They're going to hope to still have them when they get the ball back. If they get the ball back, if the Steelers, don't convert. You'd like to get a 1st down, though, then work some clock. You'd want to be, they're working clock 2-minute warning now, but you'd want to sort of be in an up-tempo, get a big chunk play, get close to midfield if you could. 2 minutes to play in the half. Steelers lead the Colts 13-7. So we'll readjust the Leatherhead. But you want to talk about toughness. Yeah, Clark, I got a metal plate in my head right about here. So we'll be careful going down the hill to the Walmart parking lot tonight. But let's first off see if they can convert. If not, going to throw on the defense, get off the field, give up nothing or next to nothing, hopefully, before halftime. Because then the Colts could still get a 2-for-1 and double dip before half because they get the ball back in the second half. So this could be a big 3rd down, no doubt about it. So, yeah, can they convert? If they can, all right. You still want a chunk play, like I was saying, close to midfield probably. Just get some more breathing room. You still got some time here with 2 minutes to play. Got your 3 timeouts. Yeah, just get in field goal range. If you score a touchdown, score a touchdown. But you still got a long ways to go. Just get in field goal range for balls. Well, I get he missed a extra point, doinked it from 33. So I mean, and made the other one. But if they missed a 56-yarder, even playing indoors, they ain't a given. You're gonna, be making all these kicks. Because you're missing them, but yeah, we'll see here. It all depends on what happens in this next play. Then we'll go from there. Because they give the ball back, I mean, they not necessarily would be in trouble, but the Colts are just going to have more chances than the Steelers right now, to put points up still. You got to use your time wisely. You got to take advantage of your situation. they put themselves in tough situations, but, you know, at times they've been able to figure their way out. Other times they've been left for dead, but convert. Where's Fryer with that? 3rd and 4, he's lined up in the slot, bottom of your screen. Telling you, tight ends down the middle of the field. Trubisky going deep far side, complete. Deontay Johnson, the 25, but there's a flag on the play. It's either going to be OPI or DPI, it looks like. Maybe a defensive hold. Pass interference on the Colts. Automatic first down. Well, penalty's going to be declined because he got the first down. So, they'll first down 25-yard line. They got tangled. They called it one way. We'll see if they call it the other way later. So they did it on the holds a little bit ago. They're calling it down the middle. It is what it is. Which I'd rather have it that way than, you know, of course, lopsided all one way. But 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Ball 25-yard line, empty set. Minute 54 to play in the half. Still got all 3 timeouts. And then on that second down, make it 3rd down now. 3rd and 3. Pass was complete to Allen Robinson for about 5. So, minute to play in the half. Come on. Trubisky over the middle, incomplete, intended for Freiermuth. Threw it behind him. Now you got to punt. Punt, pin them deep, make them drive with under a minute, 3 timeouts to try to do something themselves. I mean, yeah, he had him. He's wide open. He threw it behind him. I mean, that's a first down. Yeah. 100 pennies makes $1. Steelers punt, return from the 12-yard line. Missed tackle. They finally bring him down. So the Colts, yeah, chance here to go 2 for 1. 44 seconds, down 6 with 3 timeouts. Got a ways to go, but they're still regretting that missed 56-yard field goal. I mean, they have that. They probably kick it on that last drive. We don't get everything we had happen. There might be some more time left here. You know, you're tied at 13. Now you have a chance to go up, let alone you're getting the ball back in the second half. But it's 13-7. We're here because we're here. And this is how we got here. But, all right, Pittman's out the rest of the way with a concussion, I would think, after that hit. Minka's probably out for the rest of the game, too, with that injury. Casey was thrown out. But the Colts here, 4 seconds, 3rd time. Big play before halftime. Jesus Christ, down the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, after a pickup of about 35 or so. With 35 seconds to play, they call a timeout. They got 2 left. But how do you let that happen? Seriously, how the fuck do you let that happen? But yeah, they're going to be in field goal range here shortly. Yeah, they still have a chance here to kick another field goal, score again, get the ball back in the second half. Like Pittsburgh, with all that, might be in trouble here. 1st and 10 from the 40. They're going to hope to get some points. Deep ball, incomplete, and they, of course, throw the flag on that. So they're calling it one way, and then they're making up for a couple plays later with the penalties. The holes, the pass interferences, it is what it is. I mean, at least calm down the middle like that, but, I mean, Like, you can't be calling a game that way. I mean, clear-cut penalty, call it, okay? Yeah. But if not, let them play. So, I mean, they're closer knocking over. Touchdown now, they're settled for 3. Get the 3 back they, could have had. 1st and 10, 30 seconds. They still got 2 timeouts after that. From the 14-yard line. Fake the give over the middle. Ooh. Incomplete. Should have been caught, let alone should have been picked off. But neither the receiver or the DB were looking for the ball. So it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10. Second and 10 from the 14. They get it off. Minshew completed the 10. Walks in, touchdown Colts. Jesus Christ. I mean, 13-0 to tied at 13 now. I mean, it's a tale of 2 quarters is what it is. I mean, they just doubled up on their, missed field goal with a touchdown. And guess what the Colts are getting? The ball back to begin the second half. So this Steeler defense is going to have to make a stop. And oh, wait, yeah. That's right, this is off of a turnover. Just frustrating. You don't say. I mean, 22 seconds and 3 timeouts. Yeah, they did just blow it. I mean, how do you have something good go for you and then 3 seconds later, boom, gone? I don't know what kind of dance this is, but I mean, go back to fucking dance class. See how it really should be 17-14. It should. Even with everything that's happened, it should be 17-14. Colts missed a 56-yard field goal. Steelers missed an extra point. Colts had a possession there. They could have scored how many times with a couple field goals and a couple touchdowns. Got nothing. Steelers, they went what? 40 yards or so and then had to give it back. Then the Colts score off of it in like no time. And then Steelers with as much time aren't going to be able to do anything either. Like, come on, man. So 2nd and 10 of incompletion. Three times field goal range. Just like you couldn't get him in field goal range last time. They're leaving points off the board. They've had their chances. Trubisky. Down the middle. Incomplete. 3rd and 10. Now, at this rate, you might as well just take a fucking knee because you don't want to give them the ball back with less than 10 seconds and probably a timeout. You probably won't do anything anyway. You just don't want to risk a punt return. I mean, go fucking deep though again. You know, it's going to be as good as a punt. You know, if you turn it over on an interception, just you hopefully don't miss every fucking tackle on the way back. Yeah, chuck it deep. I'm sure Corey Geiger's watching. 3rd and 10 from the 25. Dump off Warren. First down. Timeout. 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 Jesus Christ. Timeout. You know the clock run out? You could have called a timeout with 7 seconds. You let it drain. And you could have chucked it. Oh my fucking God. You had 3 timeouts. You don't even call one of them. How do you not call timeout there? Let alone run that play on the previous play or two. I mean, it's a tale of 2 quarters. Steelers, Colts. And it's 14-13. It should be tied at 14-11. The Colts have a 17-14 lead. There's been 4 points left off the scoreboard with a missed field goal and a missed extra point. Tomlin interview with Jamie Rodahl. Yeah. It's always the defense. Yeah, what about the offense? You still had those 20 plays to do something. Yeah, you got to do a better job overall. Hey, at least, as he didn't want to answer it, she asked it again. He had to answer it then. Can only deflect so much. Man. Here we go again. Motherfucker. Like I said at the start, this game, as it looked like the tradition and the toughness was there in the first quarter, gone in the second. Tale of 2 quarters, okay? Maybe tale of 2 halves. I mean, trending that way, Steelers have the 3rd, Colts have the 4th, but I'd rather have it be the opposite, and you know, you find a way to win. But this game, because as mentioned earlier, as both teams are 7-6, Colts haven't beaten the Steelers since 2008, haven't beat the Steelers at home since 2005. The last 4 meetings, though, they've been decided by 1 score. 7-4, 3, and 2 points, respectively, okay? So, here we are in a 1-point game. Pittsburgh's averaging 26 points per game all-time against the Colts. The Colts at 17. As the Steelers, dating back, you know, to 1950, lead this all-time series 27-6. So, they've had their number. Especially as of late. The Colts have only beaten the Steelers, I believe it's like 3 or 4 times since 2000. So, of course, that was all then. This is now, though. You know, lots changed. Even though a lot has stayed the same because the Steelers, well, they just, who they are. You know, they play down to their opponent. You know, here we go again. They have the lead. Now they're trying to hold on to it. Guess what? They just fucking blew it, you know. It's 14-13 now at halftime. They trail by a point because the difference of a missed extra point. Remember, Colts missed 56-yarder as well. But they've had their chances, okay? They've had their chances. So, pull some stats here in a minute. Just frustrating. Just frustrating as all hell. Jacksonville State just beat the Louisiana Lafayette in overtime in the New Orleans Bowl. So Ohio and Jack State, your winners so far today in these college football bowl games. Like I said, with Miami, Ohio, and App State, an absolute monsoon. You have a 1-score game entering the 4th quarter there. So we'll see what happens with more games to follow. But that's not a good stat for the Steelers. The Colts are 6-0 when they lead at halftime this year. They're up by a point here, 14-13. I'd like to know what they are tied at halftime because of this extra point. You know? Because remember, to begin the game, you had Steelers get the ball, go 3 and out. They've had good starting field position seemingly every drive, other than that, turn and run downs at the goal line. Then the Colts got the ball back, drove, and scored, took the lead. But Pittsburgh's had good starting field position for the most part. That was really the only drive they didn't. Still were able to move the ball, converted, still had to punt though. But, they go 3 and out to begin the game. Colts miss that 56-yarder. Steelers go and score. Okay, it's 6-0 and miss the extra point. They then block the punt. Okay? Was it a block punt for a touchdown? Blocked punt down at the 1. They said the latter. And 2 plays later, Steelers score. 13-0. Okay? Early second quarter. Halftime now is 14-13 Colts because from then until now, the Colts have, taken advantage and controlled the remaining part of the first half. They with no penalties being called early. We've had how many called since? They're calling it down the middle though, so I'll live with it. If it ain't one here, it's one there. And at least on both sides, it ain't lopsided. Is what it is, whether you agree with them or not. And then from there, more injuries, of course. Minka Fitzpatrick, Michael Pittman, DeMonte Casey was thrown out because of the hit, is what it is. So from there, the Colts took advantage of that. They scored 13-7. They had another drive. They could have, like I said, scored a couple field goals, scored a couple touchdowns on that drive. They get nothing. That's when the Steelers started the 2, got close to midfield but had to punt. Colts then drive the length of the field and score. Right before halftime. Big explosive play. Like, they can do it, why can't you? That's the thing. They just play down their opponent. With the lead, they're trying to hold it. If they're down, they're trying to come back. There's no middle ground. There's no in between. There's not. It's just who they are. So, they give them the touchdown before halftime, and then why not call a timeout before half? You had 3 of them still to use. I get you didn't get anything on the first 2 plays. Remember that third down, he had Freiermuth open over the middle. They punt, Colts drive. That's it right now. That play is. So, I don't get why you don't call timeout there right before half. You had 3 of them still to use. Of course, you don't do anything stupid, but you're going to fucking heave it for a Hail Mary. Who knows what the fuck's going to happen? You could have at least, took a shot as you did 2 plays before, nothing. And then you get a couple yards, and then you just let the clock run out. Like, clock management, what the fuck? It starts at the top with coaching. Coaches coach, players play. Enough's enough at points and times, but they beat themselves rather than beat their opponents because they play down to their opponent. And it's very frustrating. Frustrating as all hell. Like I said, it should be 14 apiece. Should be 17-14 Colts. It's 14-13 though, Indianapolis on top of Pittsburgh at halftime. So Colts going to get the ball back to begin the second half. Steeler defense going to, of course, have to make some stops because the Colts have momentum now at halftime, getting the ball back as well. So, from defense to special teams, making some plays for them with the blocked punt, they end up scoring after. Offense, okay, they had 1 good drive. That's it. Where in the fuck's running game at? Run the damn ball for one, but, just keep it simple, work it sticks. You got to be balanced, you got to be consistent. We know they're going to be keeping it simple to begin with. It's just who they are. They love doing, the least work possible and then getting all the fucking credit for it. Like one of those, people you would have knew in school that for a project, 4 people for 4 quarters, you're going to have everybody else first 3 and then you're going to do the last and then get the fuck credit for it. That's bingo who they are. So yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have to run the ball. Defense gonna have to make some more stops, flat out, because defense gonna have to fucking win the game. Because what's the offense done? Seriously. And it's always okay. Well, defenses do this, do this. I feel bad for them. I do. I always have, because they're always in the spot. You know, at times, yeah, you don't feel bad for them. You know, especially after last week's loss, because you know you lost 2-10 teams in the span of less than a week. You know, so yeah, at that rate you don't, but you still feel bad for them because they're doing fucking everything for you. You have them play defense, they're doing everything for you. You have them play, you know, offense. They'd probably do more than the offense is doing. Let me tell you. And then you know, special teams, it's a mixture of offense and defense, but more so defensive guys, especially up front. But man, just Steelers offensively going to have to run the ball. Defense, yeah, got to make some stops. It might come down to special teams. It might come down to the kick. It's right now hurting them, of course, that they don't have that extra point. They missed it. They're down a point rather than tied at 14. Could still be down 3, let alone 4. You know, if the Colts have that 56-yarder, let alone score it all on that one drive they didn't score it all on. You know, they could have had a field goal, could have had a touchdown a few times, a piece, got nothing, but then they score after it. So, I mean, it equals itself out for a little bit, but not much. You know, there's still points left off the board for both teams. So, I expect this game to still come down to the wire. I mean, just look at history. Like I said, last 4 meetings, 7, 4, 3, and 2 points respectively. All Steeler wins, yes. So another 1-score win if they do find a way to win here today, as all 7 wins are, you know, this season. 3 of the 6 losses by 14 or more, lost by 10, and then 2 3-point losses, one on a game-winning field goal, and then 1 by 3 last week when you could have kicked it, but you didn't, and then, you know, still cut it, but then you still came up short. So coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know, tough shit. Like, it's reap what you fucking sow because they play down to their opponent, okay? Like, don't you think every once in a while you'd want to, you know, take advantage and play your game? Well, this is their game. This is who they are. It is what it is at the end of the day. And that's what makes it frustrating. Because, you know, as much as, you know, they know, as much as we know, and everybody in general, however you want to, you know, spell it, they could be playing better, but they're not. It's just... Like, if they could have the defense out there for the full 60, they fucking would. Because that's how they know they're going to win. I mean, the offense is going to score some points. Not much. They're averaging, what, 16, 17 points a game. They have 13 here. Colts against the Steelers are averaging 17 all time. Steelers 26, like I said. So, I mean, they're, living on a prayer halfway there right now at halftime. But still, a lot of football have to be played. Defense gonna have to make some stops. Been a crazy game to say the least. It has been. I mean, there's been a lot happen. It's 14-13, should be tied, should be a 3-4 point game. I mean, you can't get much more closer than 1 point, but it's a hell of a lot closer than it is. But it could be a hell of a lot worse, one way or the other, because of, you know, the points being left off the board. So we'll see what it gives. As always, I'm sure something will. Like I said, we're halftime still after what we played. Full 60, maybe we go to overtime again like we did earlier. That game came down to a kick. Maybe this game comes down to special teams as well. But it's really the Steeler defense. You want to talk about, you know, the Steeler way and traditions and, you know, toughness. Well, now's the time. Put up or shut up. What do you got? You know, because that's why I've said recently, like, you think it's bad now. They keep it up and continue to play like this and lose the way they have, it's only going to get fucking worse. So you would think they're sick and tired of it. I mean, it felt like that in the first quarter. Early second quarter, they're playing with that toughness. Colts took advantage of it afterwards, and the Steelers let a 13-point lead slip away. They now trail by a point. 14-13 here to begin the second half. So 1st and 10, Colts from the 25-yard line. We'll once again hit the reset button here shortly. Update some stats and scores, so stay tuned. But once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. So 2nd and 5. And Minshew's pass caught. Joey Porter Jr. on the tackle. After about a 3-yard pickup, 3rd down and short. Come on, defense. Get the fuck off the field. Tackled him because he slipped. So 3rd and 2. Yeah, and talk about momentum with the Steelers. Here we go again. They cannot keep it. They cannot maintain it. It's been all fucking season long. As soon as they get it, it is gone. Over the middle, caught, and then dropped. Incomplete. No, incomplete. He dropped that. 4th down. So they'll punt. They go 3 and out and a minute and a half in, just like the Steelers did to begin the game. So Pittsburgh going to get the ball back, down a point. Let's see what the offense has got. But yeah, momentum ain't on their side. Can they get it back and keep it? A punt that goes from right to left, inside the 20, and will go out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it at, probably about the 10-yard line. Yep, right at the 10, 1st and 10 Steelers. And here comes number 10, not Slash, but Mitch Trubisky. And the Steeler offense down a point here, 14-13, beginning the 3rd quarter. So, some stats. As the Colts are a favorite, but the Steelers have the best chance to win this game today. Mitch Trubisky and Gardner Minshew. When it was always, of course, Ben Roethlisberger and Peyton Manning. Last year it was Kenny Pickett and Matt Ryan, but Trubisky 9 of 14, 83 yards and a touchdown, threw an interception, been sacked once as well. Yeah, they have 14 carries for 35 yards rushing as a team. I mean, there's balance in the carries, there's balance in the yardage, but it's not much. Najee Harris 7 of 15, Jalen Warren 5 of 16. Pickens leads the team in receiving for 2 catches for 30 yards. DJ behind him for 2 for 22. Allen Robinson 2 of 13. Warren the same stat line out of the backfield. And Freiermuth has a catch for 5 yards. Should have another catch over the middle on 3rd down to keep that drive alive before they punted. The Colts scored before halftime. But Trubisky threw it behind them and then they punt. Got to go to these fucking tight ends more, man. Down the middle of the fucking field. KZ was playing his ass off but then got ejected. For a hit. So then Atlanta Roberts leading the team in tackles with 4. Boswell missed on an extra point, made on an extra point. Haven't gotten him in field goal range whatsoever. Gardner Minshew, 15 and 20 for $188 and 2 touchdowns. He's been sacked 3 times, so more pressure into potential turnovers because the Colts haven't done that just yet. They really haven't been able to run the ball, that much either, but 12 for 48 between 3 backs. I mean, that's better than the Steelers. 5 for 21 for Tyler Goodson. Trey Sermon from OHIO to Oklahoma, 2 for 13. And then Zach Moss, 4 for 13. Pittman rolled out with that head injury after the hit. 4 catches, 78 yards. They played well without him, so really doesn't fucking matter. DJ Montgomery has a touchdown on 2 catches, 48 yards. Zach Moss, the other touchdown on 3 catches, 20 yards. Josh Down, 3 of 19. Alec Pierce from Cincy, a catch for 13. And Goodson, 2 of 10 out of the backfield. Of course, Sanchez missed his 56, he's only punted once. Matt Gay missed his 56-yard field goal. But then he's going on his 2 extra points. And right now, that's the difference in this game because Boswell missed the extra point. And then the ball was out. Steelers are going to say down, then the fumble. See a replay here. And Najee Harris, knees down, then the ball's out. Yeah, ground can't cause a fumble. So what do they call on the field, though, is the thing. Because then it's indisputed evidence to overturn it. They say down, 2nd and 8, but the Colts are going to challenge. So they're thinking it's a fumble. And they're going to take a look at it, looks like. That's a fumble. God damn. Motherfucker. Just when you don't want to do anything stupid, what do? You turn the fucking ball over. That's a fumble. That ball's coming out. And the Colts clearly recovered, so it's going to be Colts ball, 1st and 10. What? 20-yard line or so? Which it was, wasn't it? It was a clear recovery for them. They had the ball. Almost did it go out of bounds. Colts, in the meantime, are challenging. The Steeler fumble. They say down by contact, which the ground can't cause a fumble. So down 2nd and 8, but that replay, ball's coming out. That's a fumble. Colts recovered, so they should have the ball 1st and 10. And after going 3 and out, so they get the ball back. What, 1 play, 2 plays in, they turn it over. Just, yeah, don't do anything stupid. What do? Turn the fucking ball over. Good God. Just, man. Like, they can't catch a fucking break. Don't want to use excuses, but they cannot catch a fucking break. And then they're in field goal range. You know? So they're definitely going to make up, for that missed field goal earlier. Go up 17-13, let alone score. Make up for, the other drive that they could have some points on. They get back to, a 1-score, 2-score lead. That they really probably should have right now. And the pressure's on the Steelers to do something. But then just as they want to do something, no. They're fucking turning it over and... Man, just... It's frustrating. Frustrating. Very, very frustrating. So... Man. Sort of lost of words. I am. I at this rate don't even know what to fucking say because they just keep doing it to themselves. They just love playing like this. They put the pressure on themselves when they should be putting the pressure on their opponent. And it's reap what you sow. That's where they are. Did they clearly recover it though? Which he did. 1, 2. Okay, yeah. So it should be Colts ball 1st and 10. And it is. God damn. That's 2 turnovers now by the Steelers. Colts trying to capitalize. Down the middle, caught, touchdown. Yeah, Gardner Minshew, 3 passing touchdowns to 3 different receivers, single-handedly beating the Steelers right now. It's 21-13 when really it should be, probably a 2-score game, let alone a 3-score game. 13-16 to play in the third quarter. game ain't over by any means. It's 21-13. They still are going to have their chances and their opportunities to do something. But once again, I feel so fucking bad for this defense because this offense is just fucking shit. No wonder the defense is breaking as much as they are because they're out there the whole entire 60 fucking minutes. I mean, that's still sort of as they scored on their opening drive. You know, they had the ball a minute and a half, had to punt. Steelers, one play, turn it over. One play from there, the Colts scored. 21-13 your score. So, touchback on the kick. Yeah, they're down 8. Of course, most of the Colts have led by. Most of the Steelers have trailed by. But I mean, it's still there for the taking. They still gotta execute. Execution's the key. You know, if they don't, then okay, whatever. You know, game might be over. But this offense got to do something. Defense gonna have to make a stop or two eventually. Trubisky over the middle, caught for Freiermuth for 5, maybe 6 yards. Second down. A few weeks back, more like a 2nd 5 from the 30. And they'll run a toss. Jalen Warren near side. He gets drilled. No gain. 3rd down. God. So 3rd and 5. I mean, it's been bad. Trubisky going to get sacked. So 4th down, they'll punt. Colts going to get the ball back with an 8-point lead. Probably should be 11, let alone, you know, more than that. Booms it. And a good return because they're going to be at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10, Colts from there with a short field. Up 8, 21-13 here, early 3rd quarter. So this defense, man, now, yeah. Yep. Defense gonna have to make stop. Hand off and off to the races inside the 30, 25-20. They're fucking broke. Maybe the tradition is gone. Maybe it is. They need to wake up. Like, they're just fucking going through the motions and jogging. Like, they're just flat out and getting beat again. Because they beat themselves. They play down to their opponent. Good, bad. So it looks like we got an Steeler. It's Trenton Thompson. So, yeah, injuries galore. They can't catch a break. If it ain't somebody, it's somebody else. And then as soon as somebody comes back, somebody else goes down. They're thin overall. Because, I mean, the Colts just fucking ran for how much on that play? Could have fucking drove a dump truck through a nitroglycerin plant on that, for God's sakes. Jesus fucking Christ. Next man up. Let us get somebody out of the fucking stands who wants to actually fucking play. Yeah, 13-0. They've given up 20 unanswered to the Colts.
And now the ball rests on the Pittsburgh 20 for the 5th Indianapolis red zone possession of the day. As I was saying, so much pressure while they're trying to
And
offense. TJ Watt was talking about that.
they've completely collapsed. They've come undone.
Gets into that mode where they start clicking. They want to get their quarterback Kenny Pickett back hopefully in the next couple of weeks, but a lot of pressure.
1st and 10 from the 20.
Step up with big plays. And Chu to his right as he comes again.
Dump off for 2.
This is the importance of this game. As you can see, Bengals with that overtime win knocked everyone down a peg. Pittsburgh currently rests at 7. Indianapolis at 8. We were talking to Mike Tomlin saying the defense has had problems making sure that teams settle for field goals, giving up touchdowns instead. Again, the 5th red zone possession here. The previous 4, 3 touchdowns and 1 turnover on downs in the end zone.
Minshew in the end zone, caught, touchdown, and he dropped it again. So incomplete, they luck out. Like, that's the thing. How much are they going to luck out before it fucking catches up to them? Well, it's sort of caught up to him recently. It has. And, I mean, that's 2 drops in the end zone for the Colts. They have a missed field goal. Like, they've left all these points off the board. Steelers up 13-0, giving up 20 unanswered, really 14-0. You know, they're down 7 rather than 8. You're still down. But, yeah, no shit, they need to get off the fucking field. They need to play better. First down. There's he short. They're going to mark him just short. 4th and inches. They're going to kick it. Make up for the missed 56-yarder from earlier. You know, they score on their opening drive. I mean, they're, I guess, chasing points, if you want to call it that. I mean, making up for what they missed earlier. But you're going to be down 2 scores. So he makes this, 30-yarder, which he does. So it's 24-13 with 9 minutes to play in the third. So they've scored 24 unanswered, let alone 10 since halftime in the last 6 minutes. And this offense, turned the ball over twice. Look at the clock, because Indy with a lead, they're just going to control it. Hope to, at least the rest of the way. You know, they've been able to run the ball more so than the Steelers have been able to, as mentioned a little bit ago. So, yeah, they're going to try to, continue to run the football and work clock, I think. Yeah, they lead it by about 3 minutes or so. 1940 to 16-18. You know, they played smart. They turned the ball over. Only 2 penalties against them, too. Steelers with 2 turnovers and 4 penalties. 4 penalties for 66 yards. That's a lot. 2 for 10, that's like fucking nothing compared to that. Still have 8 total drives, yet you have 11 less points than they do. Why? You're still given the same opportunity to go out and play, but you suck. 14 first downs to 8, an advantage of the Colts. Neither team really able to convert on third down, about 30% or so, 3 of 8, 3 for 9 respectively. They've had 10 less plays, because Indy's worked the clock by 3 more minutes. And yeah, total yardage. the Colts have more passing yards than the Steelers have total yards. They're nearing more rushing yards than the Steelers do total yards as well. I mean, 77 passing with 37 rushing compared to 202 and 79 for 281 and 114 total on advantage of the Colts. I mean, come on, man. Give me a fucking break. Yeah, they had momentum, and then they lost it. That's been their thing this year. They can't maintain momentum. 13-point lead, looking all right. But knowing them, they're just going to try to hold it. Well, that's what they were trying to do. Gave them a touchdown. Gave them another touchdown. 14-13 at halftime. Turned the ball over. Gave them another touchdown one play later. Gave them a field goal. Remember, it's 24-13, but Colts missed 56-yarder, had a drive in which missed opportunities with, could have kicked it twice, could have scored twice. So, I mean, there's another, 3-7 points tacked on to what they have with that missed field goal. So, it's 11. It should be probably close to 20. You're looking at probably 17, 18-point lead right now, but it's only 11. Still 2 scores rather than 3 scores. But just, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. They can't catch a break with the injuries. But why don't you just keep going through the fucking motions and see where it gets you? Because it ain't going to get you far. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Screen to Warren. And they'll replay that. And just... I wouldn't necessarily say they lost the locker room because, they haven't gotten blown out of the building yet. But they're not playing good. Whatever the worst of the worst could be for worse than they've been, they're pretty close to the threshold of hell there, Ellen, okay? 1st and 20. They run a draw with Warren up the middle. And he gets 9 of the 10 penalty yards back. So 2nd and 11. But still, just frustrating. How can they think this is good football when it's not? One guy will cross his arms, the other guy will look at you all, wide-eyed. 2nd and 11, they throw a pass to the far side, and Warren does the rest for 8. So 3rd and 3, another fucking penalty on the play, though. So we'll see if this is coming back. Hold, 10 yards, replay it down. Just, oh my God. So, 2nd and 21, going the wrong fucking way, back at the 13-yard line. They get 2 yards on a run, that's it. Jesus Christ. If they don't do something here pretty soon, yeah, it's going to be a little too late for one. But even with that, they still have their chances. Trubisky on 3rd and 20, going to air it out, caught. 40-yard line, Deontay Johnson's wide open. All right, they get a first down. How? Beats me. I mean, there's a spark you need. I mean, it's building blocks. Christmas is right around the corner, so, you know, maybe that's what they got each other. I don't know. They got to start fucking somewhere, man. Normally, defense on 3rd and 20 is going at 21 yards. Steeler defense, that is. They somehow converted. I don't know what the hell just happened, but they converted. I mean, is that the same Steeler offense that just ran that last play that ran every fucking other play today, let alone all season long? You know, when it's been bad? I mean, come on. Just, yeah, you got to work the run game in now too. Yeah, you got Warren, who's seemingly at times a better, you know, hotter hand than Najee Harris. But when they're a good 1-2 punch, I mean, they're running wild, man. 2nd and 3, you run them. Trubisky down the middle, caught at the 35-yard line. George Pickens, and he, you know. Celebrates a little, but at least he didn't signal first down and then, you know, get traded to the Bears. But, I mean, you're still down. I get. As he comes out for this next play, you know, you want to do a little bit here and there, but. Handoff, Naj. I mean, this ain't basketball, you know, we're playing football here, so you got to score. I mean, a field goal cuts it to 8, but then you got to stop them, okay? 4:33 to play in the third. You kick a field goal, okay, that's fine. It's 24-16, you're down 8, but you got to stop them. You score, okay, you're down, 4? Because you don't want to go for 2. I mean, you could cut to 3, but then you're down 5 if you don't get it. And then you still need a touchdown. You still need a touchdown anyway. But then if you go for it and get it, you're down 3, you know, field goal ties. But then, they can't even get Boswell in fucking field goal range. I mean, come on, man. So, yeah, I figured with the comment this past week by Seven himself, you know, about tradition and toughness, I'd go, you know, way back to 1933 with the Leatherhead. As we'll take a TV timeout. So, commercial break. We'll get back to action shortly. Steelers ball after another injury. I mean, it's December. Hopefully everyone's going to have Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays for one of those people. But, you know, this point in time in the season, yeah, you're going to be hurt. It's just a matter of, you know, how much pain can you tolerate. But there's been a lot of guys go down hurt today, so hopefully they're all okay. But see, it's still there for the taking. Like, they still have their chances, but they gotta use them wisely, and they gotta execute. And they gotta definitely score on this drive now. Like I said, I'll take a field goal if it comes down to it. You're down 8, but then you gotta make something defensively. Then they truly gotta get this game into the fourth quarter if they want to have a good chance to win. And then, you know, I mean, like I was just saying, kick field goal, okay, you're down 8, you score, you're down 3, 4, depending if you go for 2 or not. But 2nd and 6. You got to score. You got to fucking score. Telling you, tight end down the middle of the field. I don't care if it's Freiermuth, Hayward, where Darnell Washington's been, beats me. Run a draw with Naj up the middle, 3rd and 3 coming up. Are Are we live? Did I lose connection? We're good? All right. Let's make sure. App State just beat Miami, Ohio as well in the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. Pittsburgh was going south, but now they're going north, looking to come back and score. All right. Flag on the play, though. Flag on the play. We'll see what the dirty laundry is here from the Zebras. It's going to be against Pittsburgh anyway, so Boswell's going to have to kick a longer field goal. Pass was incomplete, intended for one of the tight ends over the middle. Should have been picked off. But, hold on the Steelers. They'll decline it. Or actually, they'll give them the 10 yards. They'll have them replay third down, 3rd and 13. All right, convert. Get fucking 14 yards. Make their ass pay. Score. Because you could be kicking a field goal right now. And that's a hold for sure on Dan Moore. Yeah, penalties, turnovers, killers. No wonder they're down 11. Even though they're up 13-0, you give 24 answered. 3rd and 14 from the 38. Can you at least get a couple yards, whether you get a first down or not, just get a, shorter field goal than what it's going to be right now. It's still going to be about a 50-yarder or so. Pickett going deep near side. Pickens out of bounds, incomplete. Jesus fucking Christ. Now they'll have to fucking punt unless they want to kick a 38, 48, 55, 56-yarder. The Colts already fucking missed two. Boswell's about to kick it, and he's pissed because they're fucking punt. You can't even get him in fucking field goal. I mean, why throw a fade on a go again on 4th and 14 when you need a couple yards to kick a field goal? You're down 11. You get a field goal, you're down 8. That's 1 score, not 2 scores. Oh, but wait, they were in the same fucking play last week. 4th down, game on the line, need a first down to, convert, keep game up, going. But no. They ran what they ran and they, lose. Like, they're at the rate, once again, of deserving to lose, because of how they play. Like, come on. They just continue to do it to themselves. This defense going to have to make another damn stop. And yeah, the Colts are going to run the ball and work clock with the lead. Because they already have been able to. Just. Living his van life. Well, maybe the Steelers should hop in one with some, hoping to get free candy and, maybe they'll fucking get a reward out of it. I don't know. 2nd and 6 from the 21. Because right now, that's probably the only way they're going to be able to fucking beat them. Like, they're just letting it slip away. Must win to get to 8 and 6. You drop to 7 and 7. You still got to take care of business, plus you need help. But then, 9 and 8 is perfect because it's a winning season. Now, like I said last week, I'm done with that fucking talk. I am. This team was 6 and 3. And then 6 and 4 to 7 and 4. And then they've lost the last 2 games. They're losing again today. course, they're in a situation they're not used to being in. Second down, under a minute to play in the third, so still got another quarter to play. Like I said a little bit ago, it was tail 2 quarters in the first half. Steelers and the Colts. Colts now, so maybe Pittsburgh has the opportunity in the fourth to, win it, if you will. Let alone do fucking something, for God's sakes. This might be the final play of the third quarter. Might be. Handoff. Third down coming up. That might do it for the third quarter. Three, two, one. They're not snapping. End of the third quarter with 15 to go. The Colts are having a good time, but Steelers aren't. They just blew a fucking 13-point lead. Now trail 24-13 under the fourth quarter. So Freddie Mercury can, well, go do whatever. I see Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light are trying to fucking kiss ass. But man, just I don't know. I don't. I think the only way they make a move, because like I said, the talk's only going to get worse. Is if they lose out, which even at that, I don't think they'd fire. I don't, because it's the two things. Well, he'd have a job in 5 minutes. Well, yeah, no shit. A lot of NFL coaches do get that opportunity. But to his stature, as many games as he won compared to lost. But it's big games, it's big wins. It's playing like this. It's like after a while, yeah, enough's enough. And the argument would be, well, the statement would be made, well, it's run its course. Because then the other thing too is, with the argument that I have is, well, like I was saying earlier and recently, who are you going to hire? Because there's nobody worthy enough right now, I don't think, in the coaching carousel to take over. To just not. Even though each time, they hired somebody, it was from the outside, even though it's always inside. They will go to the outside, and then they build it up from there, but it was really nobody's, yeah, we got 15 minutes to play, and we're going to find out a lot by the Steelers here in this final 15. If they can figure out a way to come back and win this game, or if they're just going to let it slip and slide again. Because then it's like, well, there you go right there. Just give a fucking run up the middle for 30 yards. On third and short. First down, Indy. They're going to continue to run the ball and work clock. And then maybe it's just not giving up, but they're getting beat. Because I said last week, I had heard somebody say that, they're playing with arrogance, because they're thinking they're better than who they are because they're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, they're still the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they're not the Steelers, as we once knew them to be. I mean, they came out firing, that tradition, that toughness. Yeah, that was there in the first quarter. 13-0. It's been all Colts since, so it's just frustrating. It's just fucking frustrating as all hell, man. So 2nd and 9. Come on, defense. They need a turnover is what they need. They turned it over twice themselves. How many fucking penalties? I mean, they need a Colt turnover and execute off it, capitalize. Because Indy's played smart. Even though down, they didn't, worry them. All right, we still got a lot of ball left. We're coming back. Steelers blowing a lead. We're down. We're not coming back, Like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck? Seriously. 1st and 10 from the 28. Yeah, this is just fucking... All right, no game in the play, but... It's frustrating. That's what I always circle back to, because it is. Because they should not be playing like this, but they are. I get narrative, expectation, blah, blah, blah. But when you've seen them play better, But then they play like this. They finally bring them down. Be 3rd down. Yeah, with under 12 to play, and what have you done since the fucking first half? Nothing. First down run. So they'll move the sticks, keep this drive alive, and that clock's just going to keep ticking, tick-tock, and ain't going to be on the Steelers' side here in the 4th quarter. I mean, they score a touchdown, game's fucking over. 31-13, kick a field goal, you're down 2 scores. Time still ain't going to be on your side. Because, I mean, you're still down 14, then what the fuck have you done since the first half? Nothing. Like, you think they're going to do something now? No. But knowing them, they fucking would. They will. Another run. And I guess the blue and white are getting back at the yellow team running the ball the whole entire second half here today. They're just fucking wearing them out. Yeah, run the ball, work clock. They score, game's over. Field goal, well, still got a chance, but not much. Just, good God. They'll throw, it's incomplete. So 4th down, they'll kick a field goal. Steeler defense can go off the field. They're still going to have a chance. 9:20 to play, 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning to drive and score 2 touchdowns to tie it. Let alone still continue to hold in the meantime. Because then even if you do score a touchdown, you have to get a stop. They might run the ball and work more clock, and you might not even get the ball back, depending on how much time you take up. 31-yard field goal. Kicks up and good. 27-13 Colts on top of the Steelers. They've scored 27 unanswered. 9:17 to play. Steelers getting the ball back down 14 with 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. But you're going to want hope to score, somewhat quick. Get a stop, get the ball back, and, tie the sucker up. I mean, at that rate, if you do, you want to make sure that they don't have any time left to, score themselves. Because right now, I mean, I think, probably the only way you win this game is you can get into overtime and win it there somehow. Not unless you can get, a score and then which, whether it's quick or not, just get a score. Get the ball back real quick off of a turnover of some sort, score again, and then we'll see how much time's left then, because you could still get the ball back, potentially, and then, like I said at halftime, this game could come down to a kick. We'll see. This rate, highly doubt it, but you never know. We still got, 9:17 to play. They're going to get the ball back, but if they don't do anything, or even if they do take up a lot of time, and still don't get anything, game's fucking over with. You can't be just cutting it close and cutting it close and cutting it close, 9 times out of 10 and expecting to win. No. You can't. But this is just who they are once again. They play down to their opponent with a lead. They're trying to hold it. Well, that just got blown. And it's been blown. Even with their being down, they're not coming back. They're just fucking stuck in motion. They're up shit creek without a paddle. They've been left for dead more times than not. And like I was saying, they were 6-3, then they're 6-4. And now they're 7-6, about to be 7-7. I mean, they're going the wrong fucking way, the wrong time of the year again. Well, guess what? December hasn't been kind to them recently. I mean, they're normally in a good spot, and then they shit the bed. They don't know how to, finish. To put it nicely, they must like finishing last. Just ho ho, Merry fucking Christmas. They need a spark. They're going to have to drive and score here. And if not, because the field goal ain't going to cut it, if they don't score, Colts get the ball back, game's over. Whether they do anything or not, game's over. So we'll see here what happens. 1st and 10, Steelers from the 25-yard line. They'll run a draw. Najee Harris. No gain on the play. 2nd down. Just the same old Steelers. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Dump off on the screen. Jalen Warren, 1st down. All right. Gotta go. Trubisky's pass complete. A-Rob. 7, maybe 8 yards. Second down. Gotta make some plays. Gotta score. Trubisky gets sacked. Of course he does. Third and long. Out of an empty set. Got to go. 3, 2. Get it off. Flag on the play. They're going to blow it dead. So now they say false start on the Steelers. Yeah. Yeah, no play. False start. 5 yards. We play down. Just as it, it's getting worse. It's getting even worse than that. Just fucking pathetic. I don't know the Colts had USC cheerleaders, but I guess so. 3rd and 17 from the 29. Trubisky dumps it off. Warren. And yeah, he's going to have to get everything. 4th down. This game's over. They're going to lose. Good 7-7. 7-11, even though Sheets is still better than them and Wawa. I mean, where the fuck's Jeff Reed at when you need him to make a missed extra point, but really to, smash some Sheets hand dryers over the fucking Colts here to fucking, get some momentum on your goddamn side. They're going to go for it, 4th and 10. They don't convert, game's fucking over. So here's your ball game. And they get the 7-7 hosts and the 8-6 Bengals next week. So it's still going to be there for the taking. Some fucking how they convert on 4th and 10. You don't want to do anything on 1st, 2nd, 3rd down. All right. You want to do everything on fucking 4th down. Go right ahead. Get a first down 15 yards and keep drive alive. You got to build off this though now, okay? You got to convert. You got to keep it up. One thing at a time. You got to keep fucking moving. Can't be going backwards. You shot yourself in turnovers and penalties today. That's why you're down. Let alone blowing a 13-point lead, for God's sakes. You got to keep moving. You still got some time here with timeouts, but it's got to be quick. And then you got to get a stop and do it again. Down the middle, high, it's fucking picked off. Of course it is. This game's over. How the fuck do you overthrow him that bad? Other than throwing off your back foot because you're a backup quarterback. 10 for Pickens, it's picked off. They're going to run the ball and work clock, just as they did on their last drive and kick the field goal. So they'll do that, and that'll be all she wrote. They've had their chances. They've had their chances. And Mason Rudolph's starting to warm up on the sideline. So Christmas has come early, and Rudy's about to go in the next time the Steelers have the ball on offense. But what's the fucking point now? You're still down 14 under 5 to play by the time you get the ball back. If you even fucking get the ball back. I mean, I would have to think then Rudolph's going to start next week, unless Pickett comes back. Remember, 2 to 4 weeks on an ankle surgery injury from almost 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks to coming Monday, which he might come back next Saturday, might come back the following Sunday, might come back week 18. There's going to be talk of, well, what's the fucking point of him even coming back at all this season? You know, with the way they're playing. But they're going to need him. Because at least he doesn't turn the ball over. He has not turned the ball over since early October. Trubisky, he turns the ball over fucking a million times the game. And as I've said before, they only signed him because nobody else fucking wanted his ass, and they thought they were getting a good deal on him for 2 years and $10 million at the time. Then they fucking doubled down on him this past offseason and extended his ass. Ball loose, Steelers saying it's their ball. See the rolling here by the refs. It looks like it's going to be Colt ball. Second down. He's down. So, all right, 2nd and 7, but man, just they're going the wrong fucking way. And like I said earlier, you know, with the Christmas winter really, and you know, the NFL playoffs looming, the Steelers are now, they're for sure a snowball headed for hell. You know, like it hasn't been, even though they're 7-7 at 500, down the stretch they can't fucking finish. I don't want to say it, but how much fucking worse can it get? Because it's gotten bad, and now they're going to be on the outside looking in the playoffs at 7-7. You're still going to want some help. But just, I don't know, man. I'll still be watching them, but I don't know why, let alone how I can, because it's hard. This is fucking pathetic. Just awful. Even with their chances, they're still blowing ass. And that's, yeah, 7-7 now. It ain't gonna get any fucking easier. That's why I said I think the only way they fire Tomlin is if they lose out. Because I don't think they'd fire him. You know, Chuck Noll retired, Bill Cowher retired. Tomlin's past Cowher, nearing Noll in years. Of course, Noll with 4 Super Bowls, Cowher with 1, Tomlin with another. Some will still say that 08 team was Cowher's. That 10 team might have been better than the 08 team. They lost the Super Bowl. No, I don't want to fucking shout, because it ain't fucking coming out of halftime. All right? 2:12 to play for the New York. Even with 2-minute warning, 3 timeouts, you're down 14, back up, third string quarterback coming in, makes you fucking think you're going to do something. When he hasn't fucking played. And why? Probably like in meaningful snaps, a good probably 2 years. I can't even remember the last time Mason Rudolph actually, you know, played. And this would do it for an ice job by the Iceman. But he doinked it himself. No good. All right, they fuck you out. That really would have done it. 30-13. You're down 3 scores with 2:08 to play and 3 timeouts. Game's for sure over, regardless of what you do. But hey, yeah, Lloyd Christmas right around the corner. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yes, there is a chance. 2:08 to play. Still got 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts. Down 14. Looks like Rudy's coming in and play quarterback though for him. So just don't turn the fucking ball over, because Trubisky loves to. You can't run the ball, you know, so they know you're going to be throwing. Let alone you're not going to be running the ball in this situation anyway, so they know you're going to be throwing. But maybe, you know, with his nose shining so bright, maybe he'll lead them down the field and score, and maybe somehow fucking do something. I don't know. We'll see. If he's even going to be in it. Looks like he will be. But, hey, Colts missed a 6-yarder, missed what, 31-yarder there? But that's the second doink off the right upright. I don't know if it's the same end in the side of the Big Ten championship game. But, yeah, at least this black and gold team did more than the other one a couple weeks ago. Getting shut out by another Big Ten foe, as it did earlier this season, I might add. And a team in blue and white that the black and gold is losing to again today. But regardless of all that being said, yeah. You have a missed field goal, a doinked extra point, and a doinked field goal as well. More so than not, fucking count at this rate. But like they need like an 8-second touchdown, which ain't gonna happen. To still have the 2-minute warning down a score with 3 timeouts to get the ball back. To try to stop the clock, get the ball back again, and score and tie to force overtime, which ain't fucking happening. No way. But I've seen crazy shit happen. If they could score it quick, somehow get an onside kick, because they'd be kicking at that rate. You score, you have timeouts or not, tied up overtime that way. So I said, well, they couldn't time to find a way to win it. If that, at this rate. So, missed field goal, Steelers. I mean, it's not like they haven't had good starting position today, because they have. They haven't been able to run the ball, though. And Mason Rudolph's in the ball game quarterback for the Steelers. Did hell freeze over? I think it did a couple weeks ago. But, yeah, 9 days before Christmas, Rudolph the red-nosed fucking reindeer and at quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe he'll get his, head hit with his own helmet and knock some fucking sense into him to, have this offense play good. And I actually was going to use Creed Higher for the Instagram song today, but I chose not to. I chose to hold off on that. I think I already know what I'm using next week, because it's it's the same old situation. It is. So keep an eye out for that. Be sure to tune back in next Saturday at 4:30. But they've broke. They've completely come unwound, come undone, come unglued, come just tumbling down. And they're in a tough spot. This ain't somewhere they're used to being, even though 500, yeah, but this is becoming more overall, more of a given. This is exactly what they're going to be like compared to, who they once were, and talk about tradition and toughness earlier with what Seven said this past week. And like I said, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not. Like I said, once again, hence the hat. Like, I agree with them. Because, and that's the thing, I feel so fucking bad for this defense. Because they're out there the whole entire game trying to make plays, but then they can't get the job done. Because this offense just, I'm surprised it's taking me this long to say it, but they're playing like, not third graders, not even fucking second graders or first graders, Dave. Like, preschoolers. Like, fresh out of the fucking womb, learning football from scratch, going through the fucking motions. Like, they should be a fucking ashamed of themselves. And they should, rather than us feeling sorry for them, they should be feeling sorry for us having to fucking put up with all this and watch them play the way they play. And I don't want to sing Sweet Caroline right now either, no. So, I get the Colts, game day soundtrack has similar songs that I normally would, be involved with, but no, not fucking now. It's time and place, folks. So 2nd and 13 from the 30. Rudolph, complete the Fryer move. No one on the clock, yeah, he didn't get out of bounds. But you don't have fucking time to kill here. Let's go. And now Rudolph's going to come out. Did they call timeout? They did. They got a 3rd and 7. So with Trubisky getting benched, he's gone. He won't be there next year. Rudolph, well, he somehow fucking managed to keep his job, to this point. So who knows? Pickett, yeah, he'll be there at quarterback. But I've thought recently, just looking ahead already next year, for a little bit, they're going to bring some sort of competition in at quarterback because that's sort of what they fucking need. Let alone, just overall better play and execution offensively because the defense is as good as they are. But then the defense is breaking because they're out there the whole entire game. Like that's why I said I feel bad for them, but then I don't, because they're still getting up more points than they're scoring. Rudolph's pass incomplete. 4th down, here's the ball game. So now whether that, and I'm not saying this because Kenny Pickett played at Pitt and I'm a Penn State fan. If he ain't good enough, he ain't good enough. That's for any position. I don't care where the fuck you play your college ball at. And that's why I said I didn't want them to get themselves in a situation with making up for not taking Marino that they had to take Pickett because they both played at Pitt, and fix a mistake, from 15 years ago. That was then, this is now. They had tough times after Bradshaw. They're sort of going through some tough times now after Roethlisberger. 4th and 7, here's your ball game, and Rudolph's going to get sacked, and that'll do it. Colts are going to beat the Steelers 27-13 because they can knee it out. You didn't even want to call any of your 3 timeouts in the first half. Why call your final 2 out when you just called your first of your 3 a couple plays ago on 3rd down? Meaningless. Fucking Jesus Christ. And with Christmas looming, they play 2 days before Christmas. Their final home game next Saturday, so we should tune back in. We'll see how they play then. Of course, they already beat the Bengals. It's AFC North football. That'll be the thing. Well, if they win, they find a way to win because it's AFC North football. Those looks say it all. They're just fucking, they're starstruck. Just in fucking awe. Like, they can't believe what the fuck's going on. Like, why they're playing as bad as they are. So the Colts will knee it out. That'll do it. Just fucking frustrating, man. You give up 27 unanswered to lose it. They will call their timeouts for what it's worth. It's not like they're going to get the fucking ball back anyway, so what's the fucking point? But the Colts obviously wanted it more starting in the second quarter. Yeah, you're going to... Exactly. I don't fucking blame them there. Stop us. But then there's a chance for a, turnover, and then, they score off of it, and then you get an onside kick and still somehow get back in it. But Steelers 3rd and final timeout. I get it's petty. He doesn't fucking give a fuck, though. He doesn't care. Why should you? It is what it is. I mean, it makes you fucking feel any better, all right, whatever, but... No, but I think, and we'll talk more about it, we still got 3 more games. We'll see how it all plays out. Maybe 4, who knows? But from 6-3 to 7-7, I mean, come on, man. Losing 3 of your last 4 now. Last win was against Cincinnati, and guess who you play next week? The Bengals, who just, haven't lost since you beat them. It's been a fucking tale of a month, 2 months, or a tale of 2 teams in the past month, if you will, since that game was played. Just, good God. But there's going to be some change somewhere. But it's just, it's team sport. You play for the man on the left of you, play for the man on the right of you. It's that next man up mentality when somebody goes down. But it's overall like that military mantra mentality, like as the Colts are going to try to kick another field goal here, and they'll for sure fucking do it when it's, yeah, you got to go way back. Hey, '08 Steelers won the Super Bowl that year. I'm just saying, last time the Steelers lost to the Colts, the Steelers won the Super Bowl that year. There's still fucking 3 games left. Who the hell knows what happens? That was a long fucking time ago, man. First time since '05. The Steelers are going to lose at the Colts, which was that Monday night game they got blown out in. But then guess what? They went back to Indy in the playoffs and fucking beat them. And it was the Bettis fumble at the goal line and then Roethlisberger tripping them up. And then Vanderjack missing his field goal as they shanked the 56-yarder from earlier. Same way. It's funny how history repeats. So there's still a lot of play. We'll see what happens. But it's just, it's going to be competition. Like, obviously, they need a fucking wake-up call. They needed, this to happen to them to get out of the, the spot they're in. But they keep playing like this through it. Like, you got to eventually get out of it. What's it going to take? Exactly. They can't find a way to do anything right or anything to go their way. They give up 30 unanswered now because that field goal was up and good. It's not going to get any quieter. It's going to get louder. The only way they can silence is if they can win. Which, earlier, it was like, all right, they're in a good spot up 13, but guess what? They're going to try to hold this lead. Guess what? They couldn't. Even if, after they gave up some, they couldn't even themselves. Third quarter, early second quarter. Yeah, and it was too damn late, and sob here, sob there. I mean, but it's coulda, woulda, shoulda. They do it to themselves. Hand off Warren for 11 yards. He's really the only fucking focal point to fucking worry about anymore. Jalen Warren, undrafted rookie free agent out of Oklahoma State, for God's sakes. Rudolph played there as well, was drafted. Trubisky was a first-round pick. Pickett was a first-round pick. Drop hands, and, Pickens is bitching when he ain't getting the ball. Mid-round pick. Freiermuth is good, but they won't get him the fucking ball. And then you feel so bad for the defense. TJ Watt, Hayward in the middle, Fitzpatrick on the back end. Hopefully he's okay. There's the AFC playoff picture now with, what the fuck? Why'd the TV just go out? Well, it doesn't fucking matter anyway. The game's going to be over. But they're showing off the playoff picture. All right. So we're going to get back to live TV maybe. But it's really what the fuck is going on? So the functions of TikTok. Somehow it says I'm live TV in the third quarter. What the fuck? Anyway, game's over. I did see that pop up in the meantime. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I don't know if anybody else is having a glitch on NFL Network, but I had, arguably probably the worst one I could have got. Not like I wanted to fucking see the end of that anyway. I mean, they end up losing 30-13 your final score. Steelers dropped to 7-7. All I fucking did was try to pause it to look at the damn playoff picture, for God's sakes, which we'll have to look up online as they go from Cincinnati, Indianapolis to Detroit. Ford Field with their grit. Playing, tough like the Steelers once did. As the Steelers are now 7-7 and on the outside looking into the playoff picture. With a bunch, half dozen entering today. of 7-6 teams in the AFC. And one of them, the Bengals, they won. They're 8-6. They're coming to Pittsburgh now next week against the 7-7 Steelers, who just lost 30-13, giving them 30 unanswered to the Colts. And then you have the Broncos later on tonight. They're 7-6. You hope the Lions lose or win. Broncos to lose, so they're 7-2. And then, it's see what else happens, because you still want to have rooting interest. Like I was saying earlier, Vikings, Steelers, well, they both lost. You want the Lions to win tonight. We'll see how that goes. But then tomorrow it's the Dolphins, Titans, Bears, Patriots, Cowboys, and Jaguars. Okay, those are your rooting interests for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, because it was once again there for the taking. Take care of business. The rest sort itself out. Now they're not taking care of business. They've lost 3 straight, 3 of their last 4. Last time they won was against the Bengals. They host the Bengals next week. We'll see if that's what they need to, get by again. I don't know. Beat the team you last beat, because if you lost to everybody in the meantime. But they haven't lost since they lost. And Pittsburgh hasn't won since they won. So what the fuck is going to happen next week? Who knows? We'll see. It's just frustrating. Because now they're 7-7, and they're going to need a bunch of fucking help. If, it's a big if, with a capital I and a capital F, okay? If they can still continue to take care of business themselves. Because if they continue to lose, it ain't going to fucking matter if they get the help or not. They still got to take care of business. And they're going to have to get a lot of help if they want to make the playoffs. Because now it's going to come back to bite them. Well, they didn't beat this team. They lost to them when they had their chance, but no, they lost to them. And that's what's probably going to keep them out, whether they have a winning record or not. And then, well, it was 9-8 winning season. Now, like I said, I'm through with that. I'm done with that discussion. It's still a winning season. Yeah, they haven't had one since 2003, but it's just frustrating, the way they play. It's like, it's tough to watch. But they think it's good enough. So I'll leave it at that. I don't really have much else to fucking say. Because it's pissing me off. As hopefully is pissing off the rest of the nation. Hopefully eventually there's a 6 seed to the 11 seed in a matter of fucking 6 hours. Because the Bengal win and their loss. You got the Ravens, the 1, Dolphins, Chiefs, Jags as your other division leaders, and then you're through wild cards, which are now owned by the 2 teams that have won today, along with the Brownies, who the Steelers split with, I might add. And then it's, everybody else at 7-6, and then them at 7-7. So, man, just... but hopefully eventually they'll get the gist. They'll catch wind on, I mean, entering day, last time they lost 2 straight was last year when they were 2-6. I think that's also the last time they had lost 3 straight. I don't even want to look up 4 straight. I'll let you know, though, for next week. So be sure to tune back in again. But, man, just... like I said, I still don't think they're going to fire Tomlin. I don't. Not unless they lose out. Then it's up for discussion. Because it's the thing. Yeah, he'll go elsewhere and beat you then. Let alone who you going to hire. It's really personnel. It's really all about execution. Sometimes you got to have shit go sideways for you to figure it out. And they're in a drought. They're in a tough spot, a spot they're not used to being in. They're the Steelers, but they're not stealing 7 one-score wins. Now they've lost, 7 games, and, 4 of the 7 now are by 2+ touchdowns or more, by 10, and then 2 of them by 3 apiece, if I'm not mistaken. If that equals out, I believe so. Yeah. But they're really just trying to hammer away and strike gold, and you want to talk about Steelers? No, they're fucking weak. That toughness, that tradition, yeah, it was there early again today. Like I said with Roethlisberger, he's not wrong, and he just proves this point even more with how they play today. I mean, you got to feel bad for the defense. You do. I mean, even special teams got them points. The only 2 touchdowns they had, the difference was for a little bit the missed extra point. Doesn't matter. But you had, a 3 and out. They missed the field goal. It seemed like the game with the momentum changed when KZ got thrown out. It did. And that's when the Colts took advantage. And I remember saying, who's going to take advantage of this? It was Indianapolis, and they never fucking looked back. They scored 30 unanswered, and they deserved to win. Steelers, once again, deserve to lose. They're 7-7. They're 500. They lose 2 more of their next 3, it's a losing season. Okay, so they got to win 2 of the next 3 to get to that. But at this rate, who fucking cares? You want to... Like I said, I'm done with that talk. I mean, if they get there, okay. I mean, if they don't get there, yeah, you'd still like it to be there, but then it's not. And then you'd want it, of course, to win out, get to 10-7. You're gonna need help though to make the playoffs, but because they just do it to themselves. They play down to their opponent. But yeah, they went 3 and out to begin the game, and then the Colts missed that 56-yard field goal. Steelers took advantage. They had good field position all day, it felt like, other than maybe a couple drives. Even with that, though, they were able to move the ball. Really weren't able to run the ball. They couldn't stop the run. They had 3 turnovers. Colts had 0. Had all the penalties in the fucking world. Colts didn't have very many. Colts were able to control the clock. Steelers not so much. So, I mean, you win the turnover battle. You win the, penalty battle. You win the time of possession. You're going to win. The Colts did all that, and they win. So start there. Enough said. But Steelers still, even with all that, they still had their chances. They still didn't do enough to fucking win, for God's sakes. So then they drove and scored, missed the extra point. That was the lone offense touchdown. And then Colts got the ball back. Steelers blocked the punt. That was the last time they scored, when they blocked the punt. Which really, technically, the offense scored as well off of it. It's 2 plays later, Trubisky with that passing touchdown to Deontay Johnson. Atlanta is moving on to play as well in the game. And the bowl games will continue as well at the D1 level. As now we got New Mexico State, Fresno State, UCLA, Boise State kicking off shortly. If it ain't already 7:30, yeah, it's 7:45. Look at me, I don't even know what fucking time it is because I'm so fucking pissed off with what happened once again. And then still to come, we got Cal and Texas Tech. Bowl games continue next week. Steelers play Saturday, so it'll be the same as it was today with NFL Saturday and college football bowl games. With Christmas being a week from Monday, so hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if you don't tune back in from now until then. Hopefully we will though next Saturday. But man, just tough, but tough shit, because they suck. They do. They flat out fucking suck. They hopefully this is it, and they've woke up, and they're gonna put it all together next week and in the weeks to come and find a way out of this. But who knows? They might not. They might do a little, but not enough. And then it's looking back, oh, well, coulda, woulda, shoulda, here or there, but you lost. But then after that blocked punt and the touchdown, Colts scored. Colts score again, 14-13 at halftime. Points left off the board, though. Remember, they missed 2 field goals themselves, so that's 36-13. They had a drive in which, they had 2 field goals, 2 touchdown opportunities. They very well could have scored fucking 40 on them today. You think about it. Like, it was 30-13. It was a hell of a lot closer earlier than the score was showing, but the final score was a hell of a lot worse than it, was at 30-13. Like, yeah, the Colts deserve to win. They look like a damn good team. They're playing some pretty damn good football here. You got to give them credit. I mean, a lot of people, didn't think they'd be good this year, let alone especially after, quarterback goes down early. But then Gardner Minshew, his Minshew mania magic, man, running wild on the Pittsburgh Steelers here today. So what you gonna do, brother? Now that you're 7-7, backs up against the wall. You're gonna continue to lay down and die. You're gonna fucking fight back. We'll see. But it was all Colts after that blocked punt. They're up 14-13 at halftime. They're now still undefeated when they lead at half. So good luck to anybody else playing them. You're down at halftime against them, because that hurt. That didn't help out at all. And then the turnovers for the Steelers. You had an interception. You had a fumble. You had another interception. You got off the field quick 3 and out to begin the second half, but then they still ended up scoring a play after you turned the ball over on your opening play of the second half. So the sequence there that didn't go your way. So it's still, as I said then, seemingly as if, they scored on their opening drive to begin the half. What was it, 21? Yeah, 21-13 then, and then they kicked the field goal, kicked 2 more field goals, win it 30-13, your final score, and then left points off the board. Pittsburgh had their chances, but really, getting beat up front. I mean, there's, 3 sacks apiece, I think. But, they couldn't control the line of scrimmage because they couldn't run the fucking football. They had the 3 turnovers. They had as many penalties as they had, which I'm not even going to get into the stats because it's just going to piss me off. But this is just how the game went. I'm telling you flat out. That they suck. They lost. They deserve to lose. Hopefully they wake up. But, will they? And if they do, will it be too late? We'll see. But yeah, from not being able to run the ball, not being able to stop the run, to, turnovers, to penalties, to time of possession, to, early, the only bad thing they had going for them was the missed extra point. But then it was all fucking downhill from there after they blocked the punt, scored, and Colts 30 unanswered. You're down 13-0. They scored 30 unanswered. You got to give them credit. But then just fucking pathetic and pitiful, piss poor by the Steelers. I feel bad for the defense. At times, I don't, but I still feel bad for them because they're out there making plays all fucking game because this offense is jack shit. They suck. When they're running, good with the ball, two-headed monster with Harrison Warren, then the offense is starting to click. They're keeping it simple. They're able to move the ball. But even scoring only this or that, they're still relying on the defense. And then now special teams. That shows you how fucking pathetic this offense is. When it's defense, special teams, and then offense. Even though the offense had both touchdowns today, well, the defense had them in good spots because of field position early when they scored. And then the special teams, they're their own worst enemy. They play down to their opponent. They beat themselves rather than beat their opponents. And they lose again today, 30-13, and they drop to 7-7. So I guess that's it. I really don't know what else to fucking say. I've said my piece. It's just going to piss me off even more if I continue to talk about it. So, I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But I've said everything I've said today, last week, week before that, all fucking season long. For them to get to this point and they're still fucking 7-7 when, those 2 3-point losses, you think about it, should be wins. This game at point in time was there for the taking. They lose by 10. A couple other 14-point plus losses. Those games are also there for the taking. Like, they've had their fucking chances. But at the end of the day, coulda, woulda, shoulda, enough's enough. They're not the better. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I mean, Jim Morrow Sr. was the one who said it when he was the head coach of the Colts. Pittsburgh's far fucking from it now because they're not taking their business. Now, if they do down the stretch and get some help, maybe they're in. Probably won't be, though. We'll see. But just because it's going to circle back to, well, coulda, woulda, shoulda here or there, and they lose to, teams they should have beat. Because once again, they've had their chances. But, yeah, playoffs, you kidding me? Playoffs? They went from the 6th seed entering today at noon to 4 o'clock when the Bengals beat the Vikings, and then now, almost 8 o'clock, to being from the 6th seed to the 11th seed at 7-6, 7-7, because the Bengals won, the Colts won. You play the Bengals next week. If you sweep them, all right, you're both 8-7. At least you have that tiebreaker over them if you still finish, the same record. You go to Seattle and you go to Baltimore then, to finish the season. You already beat the Ravens. Who says you can't do it again? The Seahawks, they're below 500 right now, but Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, Jags, and then Browns, Bengals, and Colts are your 7 in the AFC. They, for the other 7-6 teams, already lost to the Texans. And then they don't play Buffalo and Denver, and they're 7-7 themselves. They lost to the Colts, beat the Bengals, split with the Browns, but then they don't play the Chiefs or the Dolphins either. Lost to the Jags, already beat the Ravens. They're going to have to take care of business and get some help if they're there. But if they're there, they're there. If they're not, they're not. And it's tough shit. And then it's just the same old. It's just fucking frustrating, man. So, that's why I play the game, though. We'll see how it plays out next week. And, final games after that. Maybe Christmas will come early for them. I don't know. Maybe they'll get a fucking Christmas wish and, win next week. A win the following week and a win the week after that. We'll win 2 of the next 3. Because if they lose 2 of the next 3, it's a losing season. Still like to have the winning season, but still want them to be playing better than they are. But they're not. They once again should be ashamed of themselves. They should. For playing the way they play, but then making us watch them suck it up. And they'll say, well, don't watch then. Well, I'm a fucking Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I'm gonna fucking watch regardless. Through thick and thin, I'm there. Okay? I'm not hopping on no other fucking bandwagon. Alright? And you go down with the fucking ship if it turns out that way. And who knows, might turn out that way for somebody in particular. They'd lose out once again. It's frustrating, man. Because they've had their chances. They do it to themselves. And like I was saying, you think it, been heated and, hot topic recently. It's only going to get hotter. Not a seat, but it's just going to get worse. And the only way they can shut everybody up and silence critics is they fucking win. It truly is. But now they've lost 3 straight. Unleashing hell in December? I don't fucking think so. They haven't even won yet in December. The last time they won was when we went to the Bengals the Sunday after Thanksgiving. We're 9 days away from Christmas, folks. Okay? And they needed Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, to come in as the 3rd-string quarterback today. Really the backup, because of course they're already down one. They don't have an emergency third string quarterback at this point in time. We'll see about next week, but just they're in a slump, they're in a drought, however you want to put it. They got to find a way out. They got to keep crawling and digging, but they dug this grave themselves, because they do it to themselves. They play down their opponent. They do the least possible work they could do to find a way to win. And then when they lose, it doesn't even seem like they fucking care anymore. It doesn't. Whether they're winning or losing. Even though there's been, some heated, arguments, you can tell players are frustrated and everything. And rightfully so, because I would be too. I am myself, for God's sakes. I mean, it's just... something's got to change. I don't know what. Other than, like I was saying earlier, they got to be able to execute better, and for next season are going to have some more competition. I mean, you look at it, with the Steelers, normally they're not making moves. And they were still okay. Now they're making moves. I mean, they're still okay, but maybe it goes back to, all right, we're not doing anything. We're building this from the ground up, our way. And that's it. We're not bringing anybody from, the outside in, player-wise. We're going to build through the draft and everything else. Because recently it's been, okay, they're making moves. They're signing free agents. They're still building through the draft. They're making fucking trades. But then it's still the same thing. So they got to find that middle ground. They got to figure out a way to flat out win football games, which they've won 7, but they've also now lost 7, which is 500 at 7-7, okay? Because all anybody ever remembers is whether you won or lost. And they haven't won in fucking a month come next week. Just, it's frustrating. It's the main word, frustration, with the Pittsburgh Steelers here in 2023, because they should have a few more wins, but they probably should have a ton more losses. They should be winless. They should be, and I've said that, just not now. I've been saying that. If you don't believe me, go back and look. I already said it earlier today. They should be fucking winless. And now at 7-7, it'd be 0-14. You're the worst fucking team in the league. Whether they're 7-7 or not, they're playing like one of the worst fucking teams in the league. They're playing like a bunch of fucking third graders. Okay? So, they gotta wake up. And hopefully this is the wake-up call they needed to wake up. And until they do, as Tomlin said, this is who we are, and this is what we do. Yeah, no shit. You don't fucking say. And like I was saying with Ben Roethlisberger, he's not wrong. And this proves his point even more. Hopefully people will see that now. Because he wasn't wrong with what he had said. Even though everybody has their own opinion, you might not agree with him. He's not wrong. And he still ain't wrong. Because this, once again, just proved his point even more. Maybe the tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe the toughness, ain't there anymore. Offense, defense, special teams. Mainly on offense. I mean, you feel bad for the defense, yeah. They're out there the whole entire game, but then they still break. Special teams, I mean, yeah. They've been playing well. Defense, top notch. I mean, yeah, really. People will say if only they had a quarterback, which they did with Roethlisberger, and that's what it seems like they're going down the same track they were on after Bradshaw to Roethlisberger, and how much time went by there. Even with the Super Bowl appearance with Neil O'Donnell, they lost because of turnovers. The defense has always been good. You know exactly, when you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, who you're getting, at least defensively. I mean, anymore, I don't even know if that's true. more so on offense, yeah. But I mean, the defense, I mean, you just have to execute yourself because they can't even execute themselves. You know, might be better off they do. You want to say that again, but word it a different way. Go ahead. You get my point. You know, do us all a fucking favor. You know, put us all out of our fucking misery for God's sakes. I mean, it might be better off. But yeah, I guess you just got to go. And sometimes, yeah, once again, you got to have shit go wrong to have it go right. You got to go through the bad times to get to the good times. Yeah, because as I was saying, some people will say, yeah, really, they're only a quarterback away. That'll be the new narrative, potentially. And that's what I'm saying with competition, because it ain't going to fucking hurt. You know, it's only going to help. You know, why wouldn't you do it then? But you go from Bradshaw to Ben, and now Ben to question mark, you know, 2 years removed. And they went from, you know, almost 2.5 decades in between the other. So they're still the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they're in a tough spot. So we'll see how they get out of the jam they're in, because they're the ones who fucking dug themselves to the grave they're in. So up until they get out of it, here we are. So hopefully we'll be along for the ride. With live watch along reactions live on YouTube with myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96. As once again, unfortunately, the Steelers lose once again today. Colts beat the black and gold 30-13 your final score. So yeah, that'll do it for myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96 live here on YouTube. I've said my piece, so I'm not even going to go over stats or anything else, because like I said, it's just going to fucking piss me off. I'm surprised I haven't shut this thing off to this point yet. But be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Be sure to tune back in next week as well for the Steelers-Bengals game at 4:30. Also on Saturday, the 23rd, a week from now, as they have 2 Saturday games back-to-back, trying to win for the first time since they beat the Bengals. They host Bengals in their final home game next week, I might add, too. So, yeah, we'll see what it gives before they then, after that, go on the road the final 2 weeks of the regular season. And then if they're in the playoffs, they're in the playoffs. But also, hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Don't tune back in from now until then as well. Happy holidays for one of those people. But yeah, be sure to tune back in next Saturday, Steelers-Bengals for 4:30. And I'll have live watch along reactions over on YouTube. But once again, unfortunately today, the Steelers lose. The Colts beat the black and gold. Your final score once more, 30-13.